Installed? Looking to enhance your outdoor space with stunning landscape lighting? Dawson Electric is the answer. We do it all for homes and commercial spaces alike. For more information, you can find us on Facebook. Search for Dawson Electric Company, LLC. Hit the like button and stay connected with us. We're happy to speak with you at any time. Just call 334-270-8024. Say it with me. That's 334-270-8024. For all your electrical service needs for home or business, call us at Dawson Electric. Dawson Electric, lighting up your world.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
After damning politicians uphill and down dale for many years as rogues, vagabonds, frauds, and scoundrels, I sometimes suspected, like everyone else, I often expect too much of them.
If you get a cough, please leave me.
I got hairy legs.
How dare you?
You know, they used to say Abraham Lincoln got the worst press. I said, there's no way he got worse than me.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by the gold. You know the thing. Hey, man, I don't mean to be telling tales out of school, but there's a fella in there who'll pay you $10 if you sing into his can. I'm not here to make a record, you dumb cracker. They broadcast me out on the radio.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader in the house. How you doing, Eddie?
I'm doing good, Joey. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Heading into, 1 week till Election Day? A week and a day until Election Day, March the 5th here.
Right around the corner.
Super Tuesday. It's fun having Alabama part of that.
Yeah.
Now, being part of the big group. Who you voting for in the GOP nomination for president?
Me?
Yeah, who are you voting for?
Kind of private information.
Come on, you're on the public radio airwaves. Who you voting for on Super Tuesday for president, Eddie?
Trump's got my vote, man.
There are those that think I'm a very stable genius.
Yeah, right.
Especially after them shoes.
Those shoes.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He really went over the top.
He won handily in South Carolina.
Yeah, but you know who hadn't quit yet? She ain't got no quit.
No, she doesn't know how to quit. Maybe I'll make her quit. I don't know.
Just don't know how to quit.
So we're going to get into all the speechifying, not only as Trump won the primary Saturday night in South Carolina by 20-plus points, we'll also get into a lot of speechifying being made at CPAC over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
In particular, fiery speech from Steve Bannon. You know, sloppy Steve? No, and at one point, I'm not going to play this part because Trump just started his speech at CPAC with a lot of, and look who's here. Oh, Javier Milei, good press. That guy, what an honor. And there's a clip of them hugging and embracing, right. Vivek meeting him as well. Who's that? You know, Viktor Orban's not here, but I love him. Is that Gorka? Gorka, you know, a lot of people call him Seb. I call him Sebastian. Stand up, Sebastian, you handsome man. And at one point, he goes, where's Steve Bannon? He gets even more angry. Where the hell is Bannon? Stand up, Bannon. Where the hell is he? So Trump and the conservative faithful on the Trump train having a lot of fun. But when it comes to old school Republicans, when it comes to the Bush Republicans, the Mitt Romney Republicans, I think they're a little sad today.
I don't know, Joey.
Well, did you see that Ronna Romney McDaniel has officially tenured her resignation?
I read that she had quit.
Right. I love language.
What I read, it said she quit. What?
Huh? She quit?
I kind of feel like it went a little more professional than that.
Right. So everybody's real sad that loser who spent way too much money on flower arrangements is now on the outs. Like, hopefully, I think it's this Watley guy from North Carolina Trump loves, as well as Lara Trump.
Lara?
Lara. I always look at that and go, huh?
Right.
Is it Lara? Or
Those
Laura?
are just dollar signs, buddy.
Right. Now, also, everybody was asking and putting out statements about Alexei Navalny being killed, and everybody assumed Putin did it.
That's what people assumed.
And it's not a terrible assumption.
No, we know the guy. He's got a history.
Right. So a CIA-backed Ukrainian intel official is now telling us that actually Navalny died of natural causes. You've got to wonder what's going on here.
Hold on. We're trusting the CIA today?
No, what we're saying is, and this is from Tucker Carlson and David Sachs, from the Kiev Post, not Kiev, Kiev Post, Ukraine's global voice. Ukraine's intelligence says cause of Russian opposition's death aligns with initial assertions made by Kremlin. The head of intelligence there in Ukraine, Chief Budanov, confirms Navalny died of a detached blood clot. I didn't see that coming today out of the Ukrainian.
I don't think he did either. He got maybe perhaps scared to death.
Maybe Putin has the ability to use his mind to cause blood clots. That, or you just beat somebody mercilessly and then blood clots.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. So I don't know why that's even out there from the Ukrainians. We're like, oh yeah, Navalny died of natural causes.
If they feel like it will get an American to give them more money, they'll put anything in the world out there.
Now, and speaking of Nikki Haley, did you see the billionaire Koch brothers? The Kochtopus!
Yeah.
Well, and by the way, they're very much not fans of Trump now.
No.
But the Kochtopus is no longer funding Nikki Haley.
Did they finally say, you know what, we've thrown enough good money at this horrible idea?
Yeah, exactly right.
And they've got money to burn, by the way. So when they say, hey, you know what, we finally got to cut her off. Yeah.
And, of course, Politico was incredibly triggered by Trump's speech in South Carolina when he suggested that black voters are supporting him more, in particular because he's being discriminated against by the authorities. And, of course, the lines on SNL, they were making fun of this stuff. I actually thought SNL was not bad considering Shane Gillis was there. But then some of these skits, I'm like, what sort of fruity la la land do these young liberal comedians live in? Because it's just God love you and live your life, but it's just a different world than I experienced.
What about, okay, they knew they were going to have the biggest audience they've had all year, but they chose to do that skit where the pretend politicians were hating on Trump.
Oh, yeah, it was like Tim Scott and Lindsey Graham, and his Lindsey Graham wasn't even that good.
So they knew, it really wasn't. Yeah. They knew, though, and let's be honest.
That guy's Trump isn't that good either.
Most people that like Shane Gillis have a tendency to lean towards the Republican side.
Sure.
One of the things they like is his impersonation of Trump.
I think they either lean Republican or they just think everybody's full of crap.
Yeah. They're kind of onto it.
Don't underestimate that cohort out there. We're trying to lead the charge in that regard.
I just found it ironic that they knew that they were going to have probably more than ever Trump supporters watching, and they chose to run that skit, which wasn't all that good.
Well, and when they brought up, and Trump, he doxed me once.
Yeah.
I'm like, that was hilarious. Lindsey Graham was being a pain in Trump's ass, and he said, how about this? Call up Lindsey and blah, 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 blah. Well, that was a great moment. Why are we upset about that?
He didn't get swatted.
Right.
He just got a cell phone number put out.
And this is the thing with all the Trump stuff. It's my op-ed coming out tomorrow. I might read it today. I might read it tomorrow.
Right.
But this idea that Trump is some unique threat to or threat of democracy, when democracy gets too much of it. Well, at first in 2016, it was all about how democracy can morph into mobocracy that the founders warned about. And now he's a threat to democracy. But I'm not seeing how unique it is.
No.
Well, there you go, normalizing the big bad Mussolini orange man. No.
I don't think so.
How many of these folks who are detractors of Trump, and I'm not talking about the everyday person who's too stupid to listen to this show. I mean the folks that are actually operators in D.C., whether you're talking Lindsey Graham or Chuck Schumer. How many times has Chuck Schumer or Lindsey Graham, just using them as examples, walked onto the Senate floor and just said a GD lie, gone on cable news and smeared people?
They've got dollars for every time they've done it.
Gone all across the media to try to whoop people up into some frenzy for some cause.
Right.
It happens all the time, and it happened many times before Donald Trump was ever even thought of as a candidate.
Right.
So they keep projecting their past and probably future sins and abuses of American liberty onto Trump. Do I think Trump's perfect in his defense of American liberty? No. But I have a feeling that there is a bit of a spirit of revolt, even a spirit of revolution these days. where Trump can say, I'm the defender of liberty, look at what they're doing to me. And I think it is reaching a lot of folks and scaring the so-called political establishment. Now, all that said,
Okay.
bring it back down home. I don't know if y'all saw over the weekend, and this was WSFA reporting, but everybody picked it up. Montgomery judge seriously injured in shooting, his son charged.
Yep.
It's Circuit Judge Johnny Hardwick. The Montgomery County Sheriff's Office was called to Judge Hardwick's home Saturday at approximately 1 p.m. in response to a domestic situation. Upon arrival, deputies learned that the judge had been assaulted, shot, and seriously injured by his son. I think also, I don't know if he was hit or shot in the face. Folks, it's very serious. I think he's going to survive, but it is a long recovery ahead for Judge Hardwick. And again, this was his son, Kalfani Hardwick. Investigators say after hurting his father, Kalfani left the scene. They believe he abandoned the truck he was driving on Trotman Road near the Rolling Hills Fire Department off US Highway 231. And investigators say about 45 minutes into the case, they found Kalfani Hardwick and walking on the side of the road, and he was arrested without incident. He just gave himself up. He's now charged with domestic violence and possessing a firearm when forbidden to do so. The suspect is currently being held at Montgomery County Detention Facility without bond. He's set to have an initial court hearing tomorrow on Tuesday. In an unrelated case, Kalfani Hardwick pleaded guilty to a second-degree assault charge in 2014, but he served no prison time. It's awful. But you got to wonder, why wasn't this guy held accountable before? But this is something, this is biblical. It's like Shakespeare, a son doing that to a father in that way is awful. So all I'll say now is I hope Judge Hardwick gets better and as fast as he can. But when you look the other way, folks, sometimes this sort of stuff happens. 272-9228. We also have plenty in the state news, including, some love for the IVF ruling from that Texas bishop the Pope fired. Yeah. He was at CPAC, and he was really loving the Alabama Supreme Court's decision. Robin Leidecker is the presumptive AL7 GOP nominee for Congress after her opponent withdraws, which I believe was Chris Horn, which I can't. Why does Chris Horn not get any traction in the state? I wonder. But then the Ethics Commission, there were going to be changes to how ethics and the Ethics Commission work. They've postponed the vote that was supposed to happen today. They're going to study it more in the legislature.
Well, what happened last time they did ethics stuff?
Oh, everything ended up so ethical.
Why do they have to do it every couple of years?
Mm-hmm. And we'll explain the constitutional amendment on the March 5th ballot. There's only one. It's Amendment 1, and we'll explain that.
It's a big one, isn't it?
Right. Let's go to, it's more a legislative procedure.
Okay.
It has to do with local bills. We'll get into it, though. But let's go to Robert on line 3. Hey, Robert, how you doing?
Hey, guys, how y'all doing today?
Pretty good.
All right.
Have you noticed how they playing that down with Judge Hardwick? Is domestic assault with a weapon?
Yeah.
You know, Alabama, after the Moody case down in South Alabama beefed up the laws on attack on judges.
Mm-hmm.
So that should be attempted murder on a judge. I don't care who done it.
I agree.
Yeah, but what if his father doesn't want to press charges?
That's the hard part.
No, that falls in the state hands. It's out of his father's hands.
I would think so.
Anytime you attack
then I think you're going to have to get the AG to do it, because I
Right.
don't think the local, say, DA or anybody wants to go there if Judge Hardwick doesn't.
Nobody's going to go there. They trying to play it down where he'll get attempted manslaughter and be out in 4 years.
Sounds like rules for thee, not for me.
They doing it again for him. They're gonna take care of his boy till he kills somebody on the street.
Well, and it's not the first time he's done something
Right.
like this. It's just awful he did it to his father.
Right. So anytime you attack a law officer or officer of the court, that's a state charge, and that don't fall under no domestic dispute.
Yeah. You know, and it's one thing to say mercy should be part of your toolkit when you're a justice, when you're a judge. You can hear cases and use discretion, but if all you got's mercy, you got to wonder who you're letting roam free.
Yeah. So it's just the rooster coming home, the hen coming home to roost.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Appreciate it, Robert.
See you, Robert.
272-9228. This part of the program, before we hit this break, brought to you by, well, Pest Pro Services. And there at Pest Pro Services, Ashley and her fantastic team are ready to help you out. And you know, it's starting to warm up during the middle of the day.
Dude, it's going to be like 80 tomorrow.
I know. Now, in the mornings, it's still cool.
Oh, it feels so nice.
But you got to know, as things warm up, those fire ants are going to start popping up. Those termites are going to start popping
and those
up.
blood-sucking mosquitoes.
Ooh.
They're coming, buddy.
Well, the beautiful thing is Pest Pro can take care of all of those. You can get your yard treated for mosquitoes, or, well, you got to ask them. They can do a free inspection for termites and get you an estimate, a free estimate on treatment. Now, it's better to get termite treatment done before they cause damage to your home, to your property, because neither is covered by homeowners insurance. So you might as well do some preventative maintenance.
That's what you need to do.
Get Pest Pro out there to make sure your home is jam up and jelly tight when it comes to those termites or any other insects or little critters trying to get in there. Of course, you can always call Pest Pro Services at 265-9990. That's 265-9990. Or you can go to ppsriverregion.com or search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. Ashley and her team are ready to help you. There's a reason they've been growing leaps and bounds over the last few years. They're just that good. Great local folks who know what they're doing when it comes to pest control and serving the community. So y'all check them out today. And be sure to tell Ashley and that great team at Pest Pro that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you. More news and views in the afternoon. Well, after this.
Joey Clark.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
I'm Republican Jacqueline Tomlinson. You've heard me here on the Greg Budell Show quite a bit over the years. Running for office is the last thing I thought I'd do, but when your community calls, you answer. With more than 15 years of family law experience, I've helped local families through some of their toughest times. And so, I'm asking for your vote in the Republican primary on Tuesday, March 5th for Circuit Judge.
Vote for my mommy!
Paid for by the Tomlinson Campaign, P.O. Box 821, Wetumpka, Alabama, 36092.
Come see how you can drive a new Lexus from Lexus of Montgomery today. Get to the luxury event 4 years in the making, the Leap Year Lexus Savings Event. This month only, buy a new Lexus and leap past your payments till May. Drive true luxury in the 2024 Lexus RX, now $499 a month. You can drive a new Lexus today. Visit Lexus of Montgomery, part of the Sutherland Automotive Group.
With approved credit number RC02C205, 36 months, 10,000 miles, with $3,499 due at signing, plus tax, tag, title, and dock fee.
Hey folks, this is Tammy Burkhalter at Prattville Farm Center, and did you know there's all kind of dogs that we can feed, like sleeping dog, hot dog, creek dog, swimming dog, hunting dog, shaggy dog, lap dog, window dog, riding dog, hiding dogs, puppy dog, standing dog, hat dog, cozy dog, family dog, even a dancing dog man. So come see us at 1154 South Memorial Drive in Prattville, and we can even feed your kitty cat too.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Live local talk. The River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
You never want a serious crisis to go to waste. And what I mean by that, it's an opportunity to do things that you think you could not do before.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm Joey. He's Eddie. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing, bro?
I'm all right. Surviving, I suppose. And, well, you want to hear a little bit of Trump at CPAC? Because, I mean, the guy was, it was a pretty low-key speech, except for certain moments.
Oh?
Yeah, there were definitely certain moments like this.
That was another one we called, right? Fake news. The only problem with that term, it's not strong enough. I wish it was stronger. At the ballot box this November, it's you and the people you have to be, and we'll deliver a reckoning like they haven't even imagined before. We're going to straighten out our country. We're going to bring our country back. For hardworking Americans, November 5th will be our new Liberation Day, but for the liars and cheaters and fraudsters and censors and imposters who have commandeered our government, it will be their judgment day. Their judgment day.
You like that? I saw you smiling over there.
Pretty good.
You like that?
Pretty good.
Like,
Pretty good.
And then he continued in his main speech saying, "Our revenge, my revenge, will be our success."
I like that.
I like that.
I like that way he could spin that.
Yeah.
He put it much better than I could.
Of course, that's not going to stop all sorts of folks from calling him all sorts of names.
Of course.
And, you know, like many other things, I've been brought to this point with Trump of like, yeah, screw it. Let's just throw the hand grenade, the human hand grenade,
At this point,
back at Washington, D.C.
At this point, you know.
Like two big double-barrel middle fingers right at Washington, D.C.
Ooh, double tall man.
Yeah, that's what we need. And I think Trump is just the guy to do it.
He's the guy to do it. That's for sure.
And, well, he's... now, I'm moving to South Carolina. This was...
South Kakalaki?
Bombs. This is South Carolina, where Trump just won. And let's listen in now.
All right.
Bombs. I could solve it all with a phone call. Just a phone call, like I did with Macron of France. He was going to put a tax on. My people said, we'll never be able to stop it. I gave him a little chance, just a quick run on the story. Emmanuel Macron, head of France. And I said, get it stopped. They're putting a big tax on our companies. I said, get it stopped. And they came back and they said, we've been unable to do it. I said, I'll do it. And I called up Macron. Emmanuel, how are you? How are you? Oh, Donald, thank you so much. I miss you so much. We must get together. I said, we will, but first we have to settle. You're putting a tax on our American companies, a very big tax. It's not fair, Emmanuel. Yes, but it has already passed. I am not able to do anything. I said, that's okay. Starting on Monday morning, every bottle of wine and champagne that comes into the United States is going to have a 100% tax or tariff put on it.
True.
No, Donald, you can't do that. I said, yes, I can. He goes, no way. I said, way.
I love that. Way.
Way. And I said, here's the story. Call me back within 5 minutes. Let me know. He called me back in about 2 minutes. He said, we've decided not to place this tax on American companies. I did so much of that stuff, and I can't. It's so much. And I wish they were all recorded. I wish they were all recorded. I really do.
They are,
Some of these conversations were classic. You would have seen what a great job we did. But you can do things that stupid people can't do. I mean, Biden doesn't.
Yeah, no chill on Trump's part, especially when you're beginning
bombs.
Okay, you're right. He has no chill. But we as Trump supporters, we like that Trump.
Yeah.
In this mode.
I do like that.
No chill. Nothing to lose. Any of those he's winning.
And one thing that's amazing, and this was the victory speech in South Carolina as well, you know, Trump will try to bring up folks that he's been frenemies with.
Yeah.
Remember how we mentioned Lindsey Graham earlier?
Yes.
And how Lindsey got doxxed and all sorts of other stuff that happened to Lindsey?
Poor guy.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Well, Trump tried to, bury the hatchet. Like, he does this.
He does.
It's like, Ted Cruz's wife is ugly as a dog. And then they're like best friends.
Yeah. Amazing how that works, isn't it?
Yeah, so people usually go, yeah, oh yeah, Ted Cruz, yay, he's back, and they're friends now, and great, all the Republicans working together. Well, the Trump base really isn't into that these days. See, he's going to try to do it with the one, the only, Lindsey.
It's not just about sex.
Graham.
Okay.
A little bit further left than some of the people on the stage. But I always say, when I'm in trouble on the left, I call up Lindsey Graham, and he straightens it out so fast.
Listen to the crowd. Initial cheer.
And I'll tell you.
Hold on, it gets worse.
No, remember. Remember. I love him. He's a good man. Come up here, Lindsey. Come up here, Lindsey.
Wow.
Come here.
Buzzkill.
Okay, are you ready? America, the nightmare you're facing is just about over. Help is on the way. This is the most qualified man to be president of the United States. And let it be said that South Carolina created the biggest political comeback in American history.
Didn't they do that with Biden when he was about to be out of the race? Is that the one he's talking about?
The what?
Wasn't Biden about to be out of the race until South Carolina?
Oh, yeah. But
is that the one he's
No,
referring
he's
to?
referring to Trump getting this huge margin over Nikki Haley. In her home state, she got whooped.
No one loves her anymore. And like a lot of the exit polls showed, they said, we don't know her. We used to know her.
Right.
But she went away.
And she keeps using this line of 70% of Americans don't want to see a Trump-Biden rematch. And I'm like, I'm not surprised by that number. But you know what that means, Nikki? It's they would rather prefer Trump and Biden than do you.
Right.
And your fake bought and paid for shtick.
It's just so
at this point.
I feel so sad watching her because she's just waiting. I mean, she's literally the robot waiting for the next command.
Right. And then some of the never Trumpers or the Bush GOP or the McCain GOP, all these folks, they're out there saying 40% of Republicans in exit polls said they would never vote for Donald Trump. And it's like, hey, Dumas is... You do know it's an open primary in South Carolina, and those same exit polls showed that 40% of the people who voted for Nikki Haley were Democrats. So am I shocked that Democrats say they'll never vote for Trump?
Who has been paying Nikki Haley's way thus far?
A lot of Democrats.
There we go. Got to go out there and support our girl.
Right. But, she's making bank. She's making political bank.
Now, dude, as a guy who used to think he would do almost anything for money, I found a limit. I could not be that big of a puppet.
What was the limit?
That big of a puppet. Standing there on stage when I forget who called her out for being the corporate shill of a person she was.
Vivek.
And she had the smile of response. I would have dropped my head in shame and walked off, never to be seen again. That's just me.
No, Vivek torched her. Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of folks that ran to her defense because that's how this works. You back your candidate, you back your team, but I think objectively, he torched her.
There's a time and a place.
And he torched Mike Pence.
Yeah.
Of course, Pence, we reported it a week or two ago, is now funding all these operations to stop populism in the Republican Party.
That's what his robots have told him to do.
It's just absurd. But how about a little bit of fire before we hit another break? Where's Bannon? Bannon, Steve?
Sloppy
Bannon.
Steve?
Stand up, Sloppy Steve. Stand up and be heard, Sloppy Steve.
Has he cleaned himself up at all?
I don't know. We'll see.
Election. Media, I want you to suck on this. I want the White House to suck on this. You lost in 2020. Donald Trump is the legitimate president of the United States.
Suck on it.
Stand up, Bannon. Stand up, Steve. Sloppy Steve. Stand up.
Trump won. Trump won. Trump won. Trump won. Trump won. Trump won.
He's so sloppy.
You know how we know categorically that Trump won now? Because the New York Times and MSNBC and the Washington Post understand we're about to out them, right? We're going to adjudicate this after victory. If Biden actually won, he would be a revered hero to them. If Kamala Harris had really been the wingman, she'd be a revered hero. The New York Times is throwing Biden under the bus every day and backing him up over him. That shows you they know he's an illegitimate regime head. He's a usurper in 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. To every working class Democrat and populist in the Democratic Party, when we get to the White House and go through and adjudicate the fact that 2020 was stolen and this illegitimate regime, what they've done to destroy this country, nobody that loved this country would do what he's doing to the country, would they?
Nope.
Would anybody think about it for a second? What if our framers came back today and saw 10 million illegal alien invaders that they have gamed the system to bring here? Nobody. Give me that again, ma'am. Lock them up. All of them. Garland, Ray, Biden, all of them. Mayorkas. What they did to this country is unforgivable. And we will not forget it, and we will never forgive it until justice is done. Now, some of our folks may say justice in this case is retribution. I will let that be defined as we go forward. But we're not going to back off this. President Donald J. Trump is the greatest president of the 20th and 21st century. Think about it for a second. When they stole the election and he went back to Mar-a-Lago, he could have played the game. He could have been part of the system. He could have gotten a big book deal and had the memorial films made about him and, built more golf courses and had a life of leisure as a billionaire. Should have and deserve, and with his beautiful family. What did he do? He came back to lead his country and say, I'm not going to let them steal this election, and I'm not going to ever let them destroy the United States of America.
Again, folks, that's Steve Bannon over the weekend at CPAC. Just a little taste of what he was saying. One of the more fiery speeches. Vivek was also great. But I think my favorite, not Trump, not Vivek, not Steve.
Not Sloppy?
Mm-mm. It's probably Javier Milei.
Oh.
It's because I am that economics nerd.
Yeah.
I am that Austro-libertarian in many ways. I've changed some, but that is what I think helped me develop into my political point of view. And to see a leader, a president of a country who's following through, number one, who is also has command of economics and history in a way I understand.
He knows what he's doing a little bit there, Joe.
Who stands by liberty, damn it, freedom, damn it. That's his slogan. I'm not going to play it because he's speaking, his tongue as there's a translator over the top. It's not exactly the most enjoyable listening experience. But if you read that speech, it reads like an economic treatise. And I think it's fantastic how he's going at the heart of neoclassical economics, especially this Keynesian school, but all the folks that start talking market failures and all these other things. Now, Milei went right for the throat with them and then also gave fiery comments as well, talking about how he ran to awaken lions. We need more of that here in America.
Yes, we do.
And in fact, there was a moment behind the scenes with Javier Milei and Donald Trump meeting, and went fairly viral here, folks. But let's listen in.
All right.
Big ol' hug. Yeah. Why are you smirking like a moron over there right now?
Remember that movie, not Harry Potter, but the one where they were all living in like little troll houses?
Yeah.
Dude kind of looks trollish like that. His hair.
Let me see here. We'll pull it up. Full screen.
I could be wrong, but I'm just saying he kind of reminds me of one of the guy. He gets fresh off the set there.
You know, are you just in the mood to crap on whatever I love today?
I love this. What are you talking about? I love this. I'm just saying the guy himself.
But I'm just saying that
the guy himself. You know, I can. Yeah, he's right out of that movie.
yeah. No, he is a character, man. He's not only an economist. He's a foul mouthed like.
I mean, always hype. Like Trump is always on level 6 out of 10. This dude's always on 8.
Right. Well,
always on 8.
He's a little rock star. Like, I think he has a punk rock band.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That would make so much sense. I could really see that.
So, no, and he was wielding a chainsaw when he was running too and cutting through stuff, and he would like start cursing and doing rock music. His wife's like some supermodel, and I don't know. We need more of that here in the United States. Yeah, I'd vote for that all day. I'd vote for that over Trump. But it's great to see him and Trump embracing. So, well, excitement on the right.
Yeah.
Right now. We'll see what tricks the establishment has up their sleeves. Well, in particular, there's an exclusive for Axios.
Oh, boy.
In a rare interview, Hunter Biden tells Axios that, quote, we are in the middle of a fight for the future of democracy. He'd come up with that himself. And he sees his sobriety as crucial not only to his life, but also to ensuring Donald Trump doesn't become president again. See, that's the trick.
Bad news for that guy.
If I stay sober, Trump will not become president again.
They need to keep people close to him.
So what if Trump does become president again?
It's not a matter
Hunter,
of does.
Are you going to keep painting? Or are we going back to the crack in the horse?
I got a feeling the crack in the horse. And I got a feeling that
it's
really
hard to
never
quit.
left.
We're crapping on him, but it's not really. I have pity for the man.
I
think he was like kind of put in that situation by his father. In many ways, to end up how he ended up. He does have free will.
I know
he could have gone
disagree on this, but the boy's got free will.
I don't think we have a big disagreement. I think I'm just trying to
you
see.
Feel sorry for him,
I'm trying. I said a little bit of pity. I'm trying.
Nothing.
I have none for you. Then no pity for you. You ever down in the dumps? No, don't come crying to Joey. Eddie.
Have you ever met me? I'm always down in the dumps. Always.
That's his secret, folks. That's why, this fella here is.
He's my best friend. He's my pal. He's my homeboy.
Right.
My rotten soldier. He's my sweet cheese. My good time boy.
It's hard for me to have sympathy for him. He's had everything handed.
We got to hit this break.
Including the crack.
We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Conservative Justice Sarah Stewart has the experience to lead Alabama's courts. As a tough-on-crime judge, Sarah Stewart presided over hundreds of cases, giving tough sentences to the worst criminals. Republicans can trust Justice Sarah Stewart to defend the Constitution and protect our families. On March 5th, vote conservative Republican Sarah Stewart for Alabama Chief Justice. Paid for by Sarah Stewart Campaign, 2029B, Airport Boulevard, Mobile, Alabama, 36606.
Hello, Alabama. This is your all-time favorite president, Donald J. Trump. My friend, Congressman Gary Palmer, is running for re-election to Alabama's 6th Congressional District. Gary is an America First conservative who is fighting to secure our border, strengthen our military, and protect and defend our undersea Second Amendment. Alabama, please get out and vote for Gary Palmer for Congress on March 5th. He will not let you down. Thank you.
I'm Gary Palmer, and I approve this message.
Honey?
Yeah?
Do you think it's safe using all these extension cords?
Oh, yeah, it's fine.
Actually, too many extension cords can be dangerous. Call Crosby Electric to add new outlets.
Sure is dark in our yard.
Good. We'll sleep better.
Maybe you will.
Crosby Electric does landscaping lighting for beauty and safety, as well as security lighting for peace of mind.
Oh, darn. The vacuum cleaner just tripped a breaker.
Honey, never vacuum while I'm making popcorn.
Tripping breakers can indicate a potential fire hazard. You really should have it checked out by Crosby Electric, serving the river region for almost 50 years.
Sweetheart, are you ever afraid that lightning could damage our electrical system?
Afraid? Come on. No. Maybe we should call Crosby. Just give him a call.
Whole house surge protection can protect you and your possessions. for an assessment and for all your electrical needs. Call Crosby Electric 272-2085 or visit us at crosbyelectric.com.
The Health and Wealth Show. The Health and Wealth Show. The show so nice, we said it twice. Weekday evenings at 6 on News Talk 93.1 WACV. The Health.
Break it up, son. Joke's over, hey?
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Hi, everybody. Call it springtime in February. A big warming trend through midweek before some major late week cooling. Today, a great start to the week with sunshine high in the upper 70s. Tonight, clouds on the increase, but very mild, low 58. Tomorrow, partial sunshine, unseasonably warm, becoming breezy, high 82. In fact, I've got us around 81 on Wednesday with risk of showers, maybe a thunderstorm by Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night. Then much colder on Thursday. That's sleep day. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
John Bobo with Capital Tractor. Together we have hauled it, lifted it, dug it, and mowed it. Season after season, to every customer who has walked through our doors, thank you for trusting Capital Tractor and Kubota. Kubota and Capital Tractor, Montgomery, Brundage, and Greenville.
In Alabama, more than 200,000 of our family members and friends are living without health coverage. Often folks can't stay healthy enough to keep their jobs. We need to fix this. It's time for us to find a way to close the health care coverage gap, so that folks can remain in their jobs. Where there's a priority out there, we as Alabamians have always found a way to achieve it. Contact Governor Kay Ivey and let her know. Now is the time to close the coverage gap and cover Alabama.
Paid for by the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network.
Don't settle for what Uncle Sam wants to give you. Get to Toyota of Montgomery today, where we'll double your tax refund. This month only, Toyota of Montgomery will double your money. If you have a $1,000 refund, we'll double it to $2,000. $2,000 is now $4,000. $5,000 is now up to $10,000. It gets even better because Toyota of Montgomery has incredible incentives on our new inventory, like the new 2024 Toyota Camry LE, now only $299 a month, or the best-selling new 2024 RAV4 LE. It's only $349 a month. That's double your refund money up to $10,000 plus save on new Toyotas and more for your trade. Get to Toyota of Montgomery online at toyotamontgomery.com. Part of the Sutherland Automotive Group. Dealer will match tax refund after $5,000 for dealer discount off TSRP. Example, 2024 Toyota Sequoia Hybrid Capstone 4-wheel drive in-transit vehicle. TSRP $84,172. Camry MSRP $30,958. RAV4 MSRP $28,214. 12,000 miles per year for 39 month lease with 3638 due at signing. $0 security deposit with approved credit on sealed new Toyota purchases. Select new Toyota purchases plus taxes, tag, title, and $999. Offers end 2/29/2024.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. Now, shall we go to the other side of the aisle, Eddie?
All right.
And listen to what they're throwing out there?
You promise there'll be no violence?
I hope so.
Okay.
I'm not the one going to initiate any of that.
Trying to stay violent free.
Are you going to stay violence free?
It's been a struggle.
Now, whose fault is that?
Mine.
If you actually,
Oh, it is mine.
Okay.
It is 100%
Just making sure.
mine, yes. Both my probation officer and my therapist, they both pointed at me.
No, here's John Brennan, who seriously looks like Voldemort. And, folks, if you are listening to the show and you still believe John Brennan, you're too stupid to listen to this show.
Look at him right now. He's so angry because everybody has called him out on his BS anymore. Nobody's believing it anymore.
But here's his take on the Republicans. The guy who's one of the sources for the impeachment stuff, backing up all the involvement of Hunter and the Biden family with Burisma. He's now been arrested.
No.
But why wasn't he arrested 3 years ago, for instance? Like, why all of a sudden now that the Republicans are moving on this? But so it's Russia 3.0.
Oh, yeah. I got
But let's listen to Brennan, the head of the snake.
Quite frankly, based on what I've seen from them, they really don't care if these things are true or not. They will just try to use them to advance their efforts to try to...
Wait, is he talking about the Republicans or the CIA?
I was going to ask you, Joey. Didn't I hear that on the whole Russia thing?
Right.
Okay.
Undermine the integrity of President Biden as well as to advance their impeachment process. So therefore, they seized upon something that was clearly unevaluated information. It was raw. It was obtained by the FBI. Director Wray initially tried to resist providing it to the Hill, but then the pressure increased and it was eventually shared with them. But as it's now clear, Mr. Smirnov is a serial liar. Nothing that he was claiming about President Biden was true. And therefore, I think the whole impeachment effort, which was resting heavily on that, is really quite questionable whether or not it can continue.
It's such bullcrap.
It is.
John Brennan calling somebody else a serial liar.
Right.
That's rich.
Pot calling the kettle black there, buddy.
And maybe, maybe he's a serial liar and the Republicans a serial
Takes one to know
liar.
one.
And everybody is playing this high-stakes game of a-hole poker up in Washington, D.C. They're all lying. They're all bluffing.
Yeah.
It's just how you play the game.
So,
I found
here, buddy.
this one, though, over the weekend. There's the headline from the New York Times.
Hmm?
The Spy War. How the CIA secretly helps Ukraine fight Putin. For more than a decade, the United States has nurtured a secret intelligence partnership with Ukraine that is now critical for both countries in countering Russia. My alternative headline to this?
Yeah.
How the CIA managed to lick its own ice cream cone again. Or soak its own cork.
There you go.
Just give me a break. See, we needed to be there because they were going to invade all. It's like, maybe y'all's involvement kind of
maybe led to that.
Right.
Maybe
that's what you were intending all along. I don't know. So that's one take from the Democrats and what's going on in the world. But how about we get away from old, ugly white men? Because, we got to get with the times, Eddie.
You got some hot-looking ladies or something?
I think she's pretty hot. I think she's bat crap crazy.
Ooh, that's my kind.
But, it's kind of my type, too. And, arguing over politics is kind of foreplay.
I'm out.
What, you're out? You're out? How are you out?
I got enough nerds in my life.
Well, you
but
don't...
I don't know. Let's take a look.
Because we're talking about this moment where it seems like there's accountability, if not a downright reckoning. Are you worried at all about whether the criminal justice system will actually hold Donald Trump into account? And I want to ask you this as someone who survived January 6th. It was a viscerally terrifying moment from you, from the accounts you've shared publicly. It is something the House explored robustly through the January 6th committee, but something that the Department of Justice...
Wait, what about the pipe bomb? Was AOC next to the pipe bomb? Is that why she was scared? Or all those terrorists walking through the velvet ropes respectfully?
I think why she was scared is some people weren't following the script, and that made her very
She wasn't
uncomfortable.
even there. Near all the chaos and mayhem.
But she was so close that she
was
PTSD
upset
from it.
because a cop came and banged on the door. We need to get out here. What's going on? Anyway, let's let him finish.
Appeared sort of slow to take up in terms of its investigation and prosecution of Donald Trump.
I do have extraordinary concern about it.
Can you talk a little bit about, sort of, if you had a message to Merrick Garland in this moment as a Democrat who sort of understands what that moment meant for the country?
For me, it's not even as a Democrat, but it's as an American.
Right.
Are we really going to see what happened on January 6th?
I'm waiting for you.
And not have serious consequence for it? If we do not issue, if there is not a clear proceeding that is swift, this is not just about an individual case. This is about the message that this sends for our democracy.
Oh, right.
And
that thing.
If there is not clarity on how unacceptable and how clear the crimes were that happened on January 6th and leading up to January 6th.
Not clear at all.
Then we are creating an open question about whether this is acceptable or not. And that cuts to the core, not just of our justice system, but to our democracy. And we are hurtling towards an election.
I mean, that's a pretty good line. Did you think she came up with it?
No, dude.
Or was it like the CIA through the New York Times and all that stuff?
She got a text last night.
I love how the CIA cares about our democracy so much, even though they're unaccountable and secretive and causing all sorts of problems all over the world that they then get to solve.
Be willing to say they're kind of anti.
They love licking their own ice cream.
Kind of anti, not pro.
But is this really going to be the arguments here?
I hope not. If people still listen
I
to
think
that
this is
moron.
but Eddie, I think this is where we're going. This is kind of a nice sketch of where we're going in 2024.
Think so, huh?
that Democrats are worried the Merrick Garland DOJ aren't going to go actually far enough and punish this awful terroristic behavior that was going to lead to the overthrow of our democracy.
I got to be honest. She's probably right.
While Trump, as he said in his CPAC speech, I've been indicted more times than Alfonso Capone. Which he has. You know, you could go to dinner with that guy if he didn't like the way you smiled, thought you were making fun of him. You'd be dead before you even get back to your wife.
That's right.
On the walk home. So I'm fighting against a corrupt regime that's coming after me at every turn, and it does seem that way.
Every time.
Isn't it convenient that, like, the same, like, one that hits Trump in the wallet is happening at the same time as they're going to pull out the Stormy Daniels thing and call, say, essentially an agreement to shut up an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, is a campaign finance violation with all sorts of cockamamie, like legal schemes, while also the Fannie Willis case is going on, as well as the documents case, as well as the conspiracy to commit insurrection and sedition, even though, well, we would like to charge him with insurrection, but we can't because it's obviously he didn't. So we're going to do a conspiracy to initiate it.
How many politicians do you think have those forms at the ready for people to sign? These non-disclosure
agreements? Well,
I mean, when I see one with a briefcase, I imagine it's a briefcase full of those. I'm fixing to do something, and we're going to do it together, and then I need you to sign this non-disclosure.
Mm-hmm.
And if that way, when you go tell, I can come after you.
Yeah, but this is where it's all going, Eddie. The back and forth. Now, I'm not even going to play the clip, but David Axelrod, you know, he was the Obama whiz kid behind Obama, one of them.
Not a fan, but
He said Biden needs to worry about black voters, especially if Trump picks Tim Scott as VP. No, Trump should not pick Tim Scott as VP.
I agree with you on that 100%.
Like, I really, maybe there are people this dumb, but I don't think black folks go, oh, a black face. Of course I'm voting for the Republican. It's just dumb. Tim Scott does not inspire. I'm sorry. He is, and that's saying all due respect to his incredible life story.
Yeah.
But the way he delivers it, I want to.
Well, not only that, it's just too plain that, hey, I'm no different than what's his name when he grabbed Sarah Palin. It's there's a vote that I'm trying to get, and that tells me
the shallow identity politics.
Incredibly transparent you are, and not only that, the only people that will buy into it are some white people.
Yeah.
That'll go, oh, see, there you go.
But
there you go.
Coming up, Politico, as we mentioned earlier in the show, is very upset that Trump is suggesting he's now getting more black support because he's been discriminated against, and they understand what that's like.
I don't think it's just the reports. I think it's true.
I think Trump doesn't understand that if a Republican, even a weird Republican that's kind of pissing off other Republicans like Trump, tries to empathize and sympathize with the black community, that is racist. Because you're obviously just doing it for cynical political goals. You just want to empower, so you're pandering.
Agreed. However, people believe this is how it works, Joey.
You're not allowed to, if you're a Republican, you're not allowed to empathize with the black community. It's just not allowed.
I think you can, but I don't think you just.
No, don't mess with my voter bank. Well, I think he's going to keep messing with the voter bank.
Very well. They're helping. Every time they come at him with some more BS, come on.
And I have a feeling it's not just black folks, it's Hispanic folks. It's a lot of younger folks.
A lot of younger folks, no doubt.
So we'll get into all that. Second hour. I was getting ahead of myself. Yeah, saying, oh, we're only doing 2 hours today. No, second hour coming up.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. The Federal Trade Commission suing to block a proposed merger between grocery giants Kroger and Albertsons. The FTC says the $24.6 billion deal would eliminate competition and lead to higher prices for millions of American consumers. New York City police have identified 3 suspects in the killing of a man on a subway car last week. Transit authorities meeting to discuss crime in the city's transit system. Police say the 45-year-old Bronx resident was killed after getting into an argument with the suspects on a Bronx train early Friday morning. Statistics are showing an 18% increase in crime compared to this time last year. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 49 points, the Nasdaq 5 points in the red. This is SRN News.
The new FedNow system is paving the way for the digital dollar. It grants the government unprecedented access to your financial transactions. This isn't just an invasion of privacy, it's a direct assault on your liberty and hard-earned money. It's another reason why I recommend physical gold IRAs from the Birch Gold Group. I'm Lance Wallnow. I'm a news analyst and a podcaster with nearly 25 million downloads to people just like you who cherish their financial independence. A precious metals IRA can help you avoid the scrutiny of Big Brother while also preserving your retirement savings through almost anything, including economic crashes, political instability, and even hyperinflation. To find out more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word FAITH to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and see how a gold IRA can help you. Text FAITH to 989898. And remember, there's no strings attached. Text FAITH to the number 989898 right now. And I pray you're blessed with continued prosperity.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where dump truck drivers are in demand. Wiley Sanders is on the grow. We need dump truck drivers now. Call 855-77-9785.
Rich Thomas Weather. Hi, everybody. Call it springtime in February. A big warming trend through midweek before some major late week cooling. Today, a great start to the week with sunshine, high in the upper 70s. Tonight, clouds on the increase, but very mild, low 58. Tomorrow, partial sunshine, unseasonably warm, becoming breezy, high 82. In fact, I've got us around 81 on Wednesday with risk of showers, maybe a thunderstorm by Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night. Then much colder on Thursday. That's sleep day. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
We're redesigning financial freedom at CB&S Bank. Make purchases at participating stores and restaurants using your CB&S Bank debit card through your mobile devices with Mobile Wallet. Charges and fees may apply for your cellular service provider. Contact your service provider for more information. Member FDIC.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. Alabama lawmakers have begun looking for ways to protect in vitro fertilization services after a state Supreme Court ruling that frozen embryos could be considered children under existing state law. 3 providers have paused services in the wake of the ruling, including UAB Hospital in Birmingham. A Montgomery judge was seriously injured in a domestic incident Saturday afternoon. Circuit Judge Johnny Hardwick was assaulted in his home by his son, 36-year-old Kalfani Hardwick, around 1 p.m. Kalfani Hardwick was later arrested and charged with first-degree domestic violence. Hyundai is recalling nearly 92,000 Genesis models due to a risk of fire. The recall affects certain 2015 through 2019 G70, 80, and 90 Genesis models. Water could possibly enter the starter solenoid, which can spark a fire in the engine compartment while the car is parked or being driven. Dealers will make repairs for free. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
He just can't be trusted. Despite the invasion at our border, with deadly drugs and dangerous criminals pouring in, Barry Moore voted with every single Democrat in Congress against finishing Trump's wall. With Barry Moore's vote, the liberals blocked the bill to secure our border and stop the invasion of illegals. Defunding Trump's border wall, Barry Moore betrayed conservatives. Turns out, Barry Moore didn't even want to start Trump's wall and bragged that he would have voted against it. Then, Moore was the only Alabama Republican to vote no on forcing Biden to finish Trump's wall. Donald Trump needs someone to help him, and so do we. But Barry Moore simply cannot be trusted. Deceiving conservatives again, Barry Moore betrayed Trump and Alabama. Conservatives for American Excellence, Inc. paid for and is responsible for the content of this ad. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Conservatives4AmericanExcellence.com.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Proudful Carpet. If you're looking for waterproof carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measurement.
Prattville Carpet is a family-owned flooring store that prides itself on personal service, quality products, and guaranteed installation. From beautiful hardwood floors to luxurious smart strand carpet, Prattville Carpet has you covered. Call, come by, or online at prattvillecarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Welcome back in. This is. I'm doing this with my buddy. Who's this guy over here? And I'm usually doing this with Greg Goodell, but this afternoon, I'm doing it with my best friend Joey Clark. Welcome back in. So we were talking a little bit before about some politics, and did a little bit talking about the Shane Gillis on Saturday Night Live. I don't know if you did watch the whole thing, Joey.
I've watched most of it. I survived to Weekend Update, and I watched some Weekend Update.
Okay, you made it as far as I did.
Yeah, after Weekend Update, the embryo thing was just like, it's not even that funny.
Nah.
I'll admit, I thought the Truman Capote thing actually was
why did
pretty
that
damn
make
funny.
me laugh so hard? Because I did too, and I thought this, I even saw the clip, and I thought this is going to be so dumb, but I'll sit here and watch it. It was pretty funny.
Well, because the known fact of, like, gay men and some of them's disdain for women is hilarious.
And he really
like, you want
played it up,
misogyny,
buddy.
don't go to straight white men.
No. But it cracked me. I was like, this is going to be stupid. But I was thinking Shane Gillis was going to come in at one point.
I was hoping for that too. Weekend Update.
But really, his monologue got my attention. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. I kept waiting for zingers and other things, but he did to me. I'll give him 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10,
no doubt. He really did good. I liked it.
Yeah, I love the. When did you know? When will we stop being best friends? His mom asked him that.
Oh God,
that is a great joke, and it's true.
And it's true. It's so true.
It's very true. And then I love that on national TV, he decided to just make fun of his dad.
And then point him out in the crowd.
He's a volunteer 9th grade girls basketball coach. Volunteer.
Calls him out in the stands. Puts the camera on him.
Good, yeah.
That was good. But imagine,
like
Joey, the pride that his dad had to have.
Right.
Just a few years ago, my son was fired from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
And now he's so in demand, they want him back, and I'm going to go watch him.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
But here's the write-up from Politico. On the eve of the South Carolina primary, this was before Trump won handily, Donald Trump made a direct appeal to black voters, not just by touting his record on issues they've prioritized, but by comparing his own criminal indictments to the decades of legal discrimination they've faced. A lot of people said that that's why the black people like me, because they have been hurt so badly and discriminated against, and they actually viewed me as I'm discriminated against.
What did he say last go round? What have you got to lose?
Yeah.
I don't know if that played as good as
No, it didn't.
Well, call me ignorant, because it should have.
Trump insisted that black voters had flocked to him because of the mugshot photo from his booking in the Fulton County Jail. When I did the mugshot in Atlanta, that mugshot is #1. You know who's embraced it more than anyone else? The black population.
Well, he looked hard in that picture, too.
Mm-hmm.
He did.
This is Joe Biden's worst nightmare, a room of hundreds of proud black Republicans. So, we'll see. I actually think there is a little bit of truth to it. That mugshot was iconic, and it went like wildfire all over the internet. Like, it went viral beyond normal political circles.
Is that the first presidential or ex-presidential mugshot ever that you can think of?
Think so. Now, and here's the deal. I don't think the black person who grew up as a Democrat, who's voted Democrat, who really is tuned into politics, so to speak, is going to be like, oh, Trump got a mugshot. I like him now. That ain't in the cards.
No.
It definitely isn't in the cards. But the non-political, especially younger person, I think it plays. I think the glitz and the glam and how gaudy Trump is, all these sorts of things.
And why?
And it plays not just with black folks, but with a lot of people.
Yeah, but also the fact of why they keep coming after him.
Right.
I mean, that's to me, that's a story of so many people can relate to why they keep coming after him.
But, as soon as we talk about like Trump and black voters, it's like sending out the bat signal to Duke. Hey, Duke, how you doing?
What up, Duke?
Look out here now. Boy, y'all being messy today, I see.
Messy?
How are we being messy?
Y'all being messy here. I was just thinking about Mr. Donner's new name. We got to get him if he's trying to come on over here on our side now, the brother man's side, he got to change his name to Deontay or something like that. We got to have a Deontay.
No, that would just be pandering.
Okay, what we need to name? What we need to name?
I mean,
You
Donnie
got to give him a
works.
black name. Now you got to have that T in there somewhere.
Like Don is not Don been a strong black name before?
Got to put that T in there. Got to put those little fancy words in there.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
I don't know.
Well, anyhow,
Donnie from Queens.
I've come up with a black name. Excuse me.
I don't know if that's going to work too well.
I am black. When it comes to the black people of this country, I am your rock. Just call me Peter.
Wait,
that's not. That's not.
But let me get in this. Let me get in this.
But what about the shoes?
Nah.
Now, let me start out with these shoes. Now, Donna. You got to do better than that now.
How can you do better? They sold out. How could you do better than that?
That ain't how it works. No, he might sell them, but you got to give us
People
some free
bought
stuff,
them.
Donna. You got no. You got to give us some free stuff at first, Donna.
Lord.
You get your feet in the door with us now. You got to give us some. I don't want no damn gold sneaker. I want me 2 watermelons in place of my 2 sneakers.
Oh, come on.
I want me 2 watermelons.
Is this Uncle
I
Ruckus
do.
on the phone?
I want me 2 watermelons. The seedless kind. I want no seeds in the damn
Well,
thing.
season's coming up not too long ago, or like too long away.
Okay, that's what I wanted from me instead of my daggone gold sneakers. I don't want that. And I also want, let me see. I want education to be fixed in this nation.
I think we all want that. Agree with you.
That's what all my black man wants. This black guy here wants.
Okay, well, I got a white guy that's agreeing with you.
I want my roads to be fixed.
Yeah, white guy agrees with that.
That Brubaker didn't talk about last night. Only the guy talked about was Greg Abbott or whatever the goddamn last name is. He don't want to
Greg
talk about roads
Albritton.
and bridges. But anyway, I want our health care system fixed in this country too, Mr. Donner. Okay? I want that in place of those sneakers and all the bad stuff you've been involved in. You say that I gave him credit the other week saying that he got some black in him. Now y'all know Donner got some black in him. He got black ways. Trouble follow him like it does us. But to say that we're gonna wear your mug shot around, I'm not gonna wear your mug shot around, brother man. Nah. Unless you throw me a couple more watermelons, now we can make them work that out.
Well, that just doesn't sound right.
I'm being sarcastic like he was being sarcastic, people, so don't take me serious today. But at the end of the day, people, I'm for real about the stuff, education, fix the roads, and health care and all those things.
So you're all about making America great again.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm hearing. Am I hearing that wrong?
I'm about these people getting their work job done that we send them to Washington to do.
Oh, I'm all about that too.
I mean, I'm hearing a lot of America first on this.
Me too.
Right.
I heard last night now on these both sides, the one that running them out to my going to District 2. All I heard talking about the damn wall. But one guy talked about the citizen, what the citizen need in this state. Road fix. Our street needs to be fixed. I understand it's owned by the state. Madison Avenue owned by the state.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to fix the damn border wall that Mexico's supposed to pay for, Donnie. That's what I want.
Okay.
Did Mexico pay for their military right there on the border that was keeping people out? Did Mexico, when they made the deal with AMLO, you're talking about the wall, yeah.
Talking about the wall.
The wall.
I'm going by the wall, like
right.
wall with this man that Mr. Trump said that my brother Trump, let me get it right. Brother Trump said that Mexico's gonna pay for this wall. But I'd be damned if these so-called conservatives, that's all their talking point is. I could have tossed the coin last night on who talked about the damn wall the most last night. But Mr. Abbott credit, he's the only one, and it comes to guys on the Democratic side, talked about the needs of the state. Roads need attention to, people.
Yeah, but I'm kind of the guy. Maybe that's your thing, but I don't want anything. I want them to leave me the hell alone.
Yeah, where do I sign up for that at?
No, we paying them to fix these roads now.
No, I'm being forced. They're taking money out, and actually, I'm getting debt free again. And oh look, tax time. The government's taking out more debt in my name.
They heard, Joey. They heard you thinking about getting debt free.
And it's still, even though we're 34 going on 35 trillion in debt, the roads do suck. The airports do suck. A lot of our infrastructure is lacking. Our healthcare system is a joke,
say the least.
Except for like the tip-top technical capabilities. Thank you, UAB and others. But for the most part, we're spending all this money on crap, and it's just ridiculous.
Yo, I heard somebody say a couple weeks ago that they was riding down 65 and hell came over the bridge. It sounded like they was on the Cali Gap, boy. But man, it's embarrassing right there. It sounded like the damn Cali Gap. I remember those. You don't know about Cali Gap.
That's what you get for having the government in charge of all that.
Joey too young. You know about Cali Gap, Eddie.
Well, he's right though. That's what we get for letting the folks that we got in there run it, Duke. I hate to.
Well, both sides.
I agree. It ain't one side or the other.
No, Republicans and Democrats, I think, by design, lack imagination. And they just want to keep on doing what we've been doing and manage it a little better than the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying I'm good.
Duke, I'm not saying I'm good. But that guy, I'm a little bit of a demon, but Joe Biden is like the Prince of Darkness.
That's how the game is played.
Yeah.
So we can keep hoping they'll do good things for us. I just don't buy it. How about we do for ourselves? How about we care for our own God-given liberties more than any promise Biden, Trump, or our democracy can make us?
Mm.
But I want to hear more than when these guys get on TV talking about we're gonna build a wall. Let's go, man. It's just about this and that. Blah blah blah. How the hell you didn't say anything, people? I want to hear some substance.
Oh, you're tuned into the wrong place because people check the polls.
We need to go overseas somewhere.
Now, Duke, all of these folks are looking at the polls, and the number one issues are immigration. The number one polling number, what people want to talk about is immigration. Number two, inflation and the economy. And they're going to hammer that until Election Day.
That's something everybody can relate with.
And do I like it? Do I like how campaigns are run? No, but we got a lot of stupid passive voters in this country who barely pay attention.
But I'm going to put a but on that, though. Here's the difference between the black voter and the white voter now. In some instances, when it comes to you telling me you're going to do something for me, we want to hear what you're going to do. We don't want to hear about, Trump will tell y'all he's going to build a damn wall. Y'all line up and go vote for him or whatever. But I want to hear what you're going to do for is fixing things. Getting things done.
No, I don't want to fix things. I want a wrecking ball.
Yeah.
They've been fixing things and promising to fix things for ages. I think the only way to fix it is to knock it the hell down.
Yep.
And then y'all can rebuild. But I'm tired of these legacy costs.
Who are you going to replace it with?
Can't be much worse than what we
That's not my concern, Duke. I want it knocked down. We can come up with it later. Because they've been promising us things. We'll fix immigration. They've been promising that for 30 years.
Right.
We're going to get out of all these wars of choice. They've been promising that for 30 years.
Right.
We're going to stop, with the debt. They've been promising to get that in hand for at least 20 years.
Say it, boy. Say it, boy.
They're lying. We need to knock it down, and I think Trump is the human hand grenade that will hasten that process.
We ain't on top of that, Mr. George. The guy you guys, Mr. Trump, my brother, man, he ran the national debt up right alongside him.
Yes, he did.
Find me a president.
Yes, he did.
Everybody wants to look over that little bit right there.
Yes, he did.
Now, all I hear now is, we're going to save money for our children and grandchildren. Hell, he helped do it the last time. I don't know how far he might go this time, I don't know how far he might go. Y'all don't know.
I know we'll go a lot further than what we're doing now.
We're going to take a chance on somebody, look like, whether the guy over that side or the guy on this side. We're going to take a chance on somebody, But, boy, Nikki, do not quit because Donnie did not win his 2 states either. He didn't win his state, not 2 states. He didn't win his states twice. Damn, I can't talk today.
All right, appreciate it, dude.
I'm studying you now. I'm doing it on purpose.
Appreciate it.
The 2 times that Mr. Trump ran for president, he didn't win his state neither. Okay. Would that help?
That's one of the dumbest things you've ever said on these airwaves. Thanks for the call.
See you, dude.
Let's go to, let's see who's on line 4. You're on there. Who's us?
Good afternoon, Joey. It's Pat.
Hey, Pat.
Just got off work, clocked out, and I'm getting my truck, and I'm hearing Duke, and I thought, okay, I got to call and ask a question on the air that he can answer the next time he calls in. Black voters have been being promised the world since LBJ. They haven't been given the world, but every 4 years they get promised the world, and every 4 years they vote for the Democrats. When are they going to learn? That's my question. You know, he jokingly said he wanted 2 watermelons. God, I thought we were past comments like that. It just, I don't know. It just irritated me to hear him say that. He wanted things, and they get promised things, and they buy their votes every 4 years, and they don't get squat.
Yeah, and but one thing, how old are you, Pat?
I'll be 70 my next birthday.
Right, so you might have more perspective on this than I do, because you're literally about twice my age. I just turned 35, and I've noticed that you are shaped by your formative years, in particular with politics. It's very rare that people learn new tricks, or occasionally it happens. Somebody, in their 60s becomes a Democrat after being a Republican their whole life. But I think there are a lot of folks that are holding on to ideas and things that did happen to them that happened 30, 40 years ago. And it's unfortunate, but I think that still essentially runs our we're having, at least as a young guy, I noticed we're still having the same stupid fights we've been having for decades. Yep. And that's kind of why I'm this wrecking ball guy. Like enough of this. Let's change the game.
And I like the concept of what you're saying. And to Duke's question, what are you going to replace it with? Not our problem.
Right.
Right. Let's tear it down and see what Phoenix rises from the ashes.
In the words of Javier Milei, freedom, damn it. That's what we need.
There you
go. So anyway, you all have a blessed day.
Thank
you too, Pat.
Good call. 272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting. They are the premier roofing contractor here in the River Region, and they love educating their customers when it comes to their roofs. Now, the manufacturers do suggest, isn't that right, Eddie, like basic preventative maintenance every 3 to 5 years?
3 to 5 years. But here in Alabama, Joey, we got the extremes going on.
Right.
So I would suggest do it more often than that. But at a minimum, 3 to 5 years, at a bare minimum.
And that's whether it's an asphalt or a metal roof.
Yep.
River Region, this was a little while ago, but they came out to check your metal roof, and you had problems you didn't even know you had.
Yeah, they found some problems that the original manufacturer or the installer did to me, and they corrected them real easily. But the biggest thing that surprised me was the grommets, or little rubber washers that kind of hold the rain out. I didn't think and this is what they warned me, they said, those little gaskets can break, and I thought, it's only been maybe 10 years. I couldn't believe the amount of them that had already cracked, and you could start to see rust going down the screws, which told me I had a leak.
Right.
Did not know that at all until they came out. They fixed me up really good. It took them less than 2 days. And one of the best things was, with the metal roofs, you're going to have a lot of metal screws, and those are tire killers. I have not found one single screw anywhere. They really did a great job of cleaning up and probably even keeping that stuff from happening to begin with.
And here's the great news, folks. Those inspections, Eddie knows this, and estimates are free.
Absolutely free, Joey.
And they're a team of insurance specialists there at River Region Contracting. So if they do find a problem that your insurance might cover, they can walk you through the claims process. Say you have storm damage. They're not going to, on the first problem, immediately run to the insurance company for a claim. They're going to understand the whole entire problem before they bring that to the insurance company, and they do great work. So call River Region Contracting today. That's 356-8635, 356-8635. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie from News and Views in the Afternoon sent you. And getting a lot of comments rolling in on the live stream. Like and subscribe.
Subscribe.
Joey Clark live on YouTube. We're almost at, last I checked this morning, we're almost at 1,500 subscribers.
Nice.
We're growing.
You still doing that promise for 1,500?
No, I never made any promises. Don't be making things up.
Just that photo
What
shoot?
photo shoot?
The one where
me looking like a beached whale?
No, I thought with your fashion hats, all the different hats you wear, the different faces of Joe.
Just stop it.
With your silly little Boston hats.
I'm not just stop.
Maybe
you're
shirtless?
making things up.
Maybe just shirtless
You're making things up
with your skinny jeans.
The Romex Angler says on again, Joey Clark Live on YouTube, like and subscribe. I'm not, Eddie's lying. But February is almost over, Romex Angler says. Next thing you know, Christmas will be back and still no word of a News and Views meet and greet. What the hell, Joey? Get off your ass and make it a party time.
Put it out there, baby.
Well, keep sending me more messages like that, Romex Angler, and we might actually get to it. But I need to be reminded. It has to be put right in front of me. It's kind of like a lady. She's
I was
like,
going to say, dude, you're going to do so well when you get married.
she's got to
You'll be
put
constantly
draw up a
reminded.
big sign and put it on her forehead saying, I love you, you dope, or I hate you today, you idiot. Or
You won't have to. You learn to read those signs, Joey.
Don't bring in all your...
No, I'm just telling you. Yeah. You learn to read those. As you get married, you learn to read the faces. And a lot of times they don't say, I love you.
Let's hit this break. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Hey, this is Randy and Tammy Burkhalter at Prattville Farm Center.
Hey, Randy, tell me about those hot chicks I've been hearing about.
Now, Tammy, I don't know any since we got married.
No, Randy, the baby chick.
Oh, yeah, we're getting Rhode Island Reds, Americanas, Buff Orpingtons, and about 6 other different varieties.
Plus ducks, turkeys, geese, and guineas.
Hey, and raising chickens is a great family project.
And you get to look forward to fresh eggs.
Visit Prattville Farm Center at 1154 South Memorial Drive and pick up your hot chicks today.
It's a fact. Guys hate going to the doctor. But when it comes to erectile dysfunction and low testosterone issues, men from all over Montgomery have been thrilled seeing the providers at Montgomery Men's Health. Men all the way up to 95 years old have jump-started their sex drive and energy levels. Lots of men suffer with ED for years, but now they're able to enjoy sex again. Tom from Montgomery said, Montgomery Men's Health has changed my life. I have been able to be intimate with my wife for the first time in 5 years. She thought this problem was because of her, but the pills never worked for me. I had given up until I went to the clinic and realized there were more options for erectile dysfunction. Now I'm happy and my wife is happy. A visit for only $99, and that includes all testing, including a PSA and testosterone test. Give the guys at the clinic a call at 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man, Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Erdit. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. You've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it.
Conservative Justice Sarah Stewart has the experience to lead Alabama's courts. As a tough-on-crime judge, Sarah Stewart presided over hundreds of cases, giving tough sentences to the worst criminals. Republicans can trust Justice Sarah Stewart to defend the Constitution and protect our families. On March 5th, vote conservative Republican Sarah Stewart for Alabama Chief Justice. Paid for by Sarah Stewart Campaign, 2029B, Airport Boulevard, Mobile, Alabama, 36606.
Hello, Alabama. This is your all-time favorite president, Donald J. Trump. My friend, Congressman Gary Palmer, is running for re-election to Alabama's 6th Congressional District. Gary is an America First conservative who is fighting to secure our border, strengthen our military, and protect and defend our undersea Second Amendment. Alabama, please get out and vote for Gary Palmer for Congress on March 5th. He will not let you down. Thank you.
I'm Gary Palmer, and I approve this message.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. Let's go to Mr. Pink on line one. Hey, Mr. Pink, how you doing?
Wow, man, long Monday.
Mm-hmm.
But, Joey, how old were you, 1990?
Two.
Okay. I was about 7.
Right.
I came across I think it's Phil Donahue. This guy had the white hair.
Oh yeah. Caller, are you there?
Oh man, I watched some Phil Donahue and some Farrakhan and white people and black people in the audience asking questions. Sounds like the same damn thing, man. Like we ain't changed in 35 years. What's going on, Joey?
Well, it makes me think that the conversations aren't honest and that the folks who influence a bunch of people, the elite, kind of want us to have these conversations to distract from changing things.
I think you hit it on the head, man. Like it's like talking points or something. Like these people sounded sincere then, you know.
Right.
But now it's just like I'm just repeating whatever I can say to make you mad. Like like say just something to make you mad. It doesn't mean anything. But like I said, just talking.
Exactly right. And, well, no, there are a lot of folks, especially with politics, they don't really do a lot of thinking. And honestly, I don't necessarily begrudge a person because it could kind of be frustrating and annoying. But there's so many folks who, like, tune into Fox News or MSNBC and go, let me get my talking points to your point, Mr. Ping, before I go to the party tonight. And so I can argue with my uncle or something. And
but what does that do, man? That doesn't make you grow. Like if I keep playing the same video game, I done beat that video game a million times. I'm not growing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So what is that doing there? Like people used to have ideas. Like they would sit down and think, and like problem solving. It's just man, I think our brains are getting smaller.
You blame who?
I said I think our brains are getting smaller.
Our brains are getting smaller, yeah. There's some truth to that. Like, look at the Army's aptitude entry test, going back to like 1900. Oh, yeah. And our IQs are going down.
Way down.
Over the last century.
Oh, man. When I was in, they had changed the weight requirements and stopped letting the drill sergeants fuss it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was over 20 years ago. We didn't got woo. But people that you say you want to just throw the grenade, let the chips fall as they may. I'm with it. But the people, they don't want that to happen. They want the status quo. They want this to continue because they didn't train their children to survive this. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we talk about all the stuff about these little black kids out there in the community. Hey, a war jump off. I bet they good. Good to go. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They can protect themselves and grew up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we, like I said, man, divided we fall, man. We got to find some common ground, man.
Exactly.
Some common ground. I like a little rock and roll, man. Like a little R&B.
Well, and at the end of the day, I have this example now. If you want to understand my politics, look at Javier Milei of Argentina. Not almost everything, like 99%. I agree with that guy. I love that approach, and it's what I hope comes to America.
Well, I hope we don't have to get to that point to get to that point.
Right.
Right.
Well said.
Yeah, have a good one.
You too, Mr. Pink.
Let's go to Babs. Hey, Babs, how you doing?
I'm good, gentlemen. How are y'all?
Doing
wonderful.
Good. I'm glad. I want to keep you on this program. First of all, I want to say I want to say that I believe that Duke just calls in with all this off-the-wall stuff, but I really believe he's a conservative and he probably votes for Trump. But that's just my opinion. Earlier on your program in the news break, it said they said that Albertsons, some government agency said that Albertsons and Kroger's could not join together. It would create a monopoly. And get this, and cause prices to go up. Now, that's a good excuse for what's going on with our government, isn't it?
Yeah, I love how they're like, we're defending against monopoly, said the government monopoly who has the power of, violently violating people's rights. Yeah, sure.
And another thing, earlier on the early show before you come on, they said that Mexico is saying that their crime rate is way down. I wonder why. Is it because they're sending all their criminals to us? And then, well, I have to make notes, Joey.
Oh, I get it.
Oh, yeah. And this business of the Republicans, and I know you probably agree, trying to get Mayorkas out, all that is doing is making people think that they're really doing something. Because nothing's going to happen.
Right.
We all know nothing's going to happen. You can, if you're the right person and got the right money, you can kill somebody and get by with it.
Yep.
But anyway, I guess that's about all I've got to say. Oh yeah, and also I guess you know that the girl that was killed in Georgia, that her brother. I guess they were identical twins, and the brother had a fake ID and worked for Uber or DoorDash or whatever. And he had a fake ID. And he was working for, like I said, Uber or DoorDash. It just blew my mind that somebody, of course, I don't know what the brother does or if they swap out, but isn't that frightening that somebody, and of course probably the reason they hired him is because they can't get regular Americans to work. But anyway, I'm just running off of the mouth, just things that I
loved
thought of.
it. I really loved it. I appreciate you, Barbara, really do.
Love y'all too. Have a good rest of the day.
You too.
No, and she said that, she secretly thinks Duke is actually voting for Trump. You know how Duke said Trump's got a little black in him?
Yeah.
I think Duke's got a little Donald Trump in him. Just saying.
I know he's a fan. He won't ever admit it publicly.
He don't want to admit
it.
Let's go to Randall. Hey, Randall, how you doing?
Hey, man. How y'all?
Doing all right.
Caught me in the courthouse, man. Then walk on out of here.
Sounds like a song.
But hey, I'm sure somebody's done a song about it. I'm a bunch of people. I'm stuck under the courthouse. I'm stuck beside the courthouse. I'm stuck in line at the courthouse.
I'm stuck in the judge in the courthouse.
Boy, I'm in love with the judge at the courthouse. Shout out to Miss Joy Booth.
He ain't got nothing under those robes.
I'm telling you, man. Get behind that. Get behind that, man. Oh my goodness. No, just come in. You gotta. It's crazy, man. I know there's a lot of talk about the border, a lot of talk about everything, but it's just funny how we just talking about it. Man, they come, come over here and kill somebody, but we can't even go fishing without people. I mean, you know what I mean? You gotta laugh to keep them crying. I mean, because that right there, it makes you get your teeth. And to think that we even had somebody call in and say that it's the girl's fault. She should know better than run. Man, we in America. We ought to stand. If it's gotten that bad, we all need to join arms and take our butts to Georgia and make sure our daughters can take a job when they want to.
Yeah, and seriously, one of the corporate press's takeaways is this is the problem with women running alone. Really?
Yeah. What?
They don't ever put it on there. I saw that.
That makes.
I feel like the person who wrote that is kind of a rapist murderer.
I feel like the person who wrote that, needs to have his hard drive checked.
Yeah, like, I mean, are we in America anymore? I mean, it's too late for that. I mean, it's just, and you know what I mean? The more I study about everything's hooked to maritime, the Statue of Liberty, why is it in the harbor and not on land? Like, it just, so much stuff we've been lied about. And liberty ain't what we, ain't the same liberty you shout about joy ain't the same liberty she's standing there for. And you know what I mean? Like, the more I dig, the worse this gets. And the more it's
what liberty is she standing there for?
I don't want to. I can't articulate it good enough right this second. I mean,
well, send me something about it.
Yeah, I will, because the reason that she's in the harbor, we'll go. You kind of go down that way, and you may come up to a better conclusion I do, and I don't want to be sending the wrong information out, and I do need to study it more. But the reason I was calling it was about the mug shot and about Trump.
Yeah,
and about. Let's just close your eyes for a second. And, you know what I mean? We all, he had the book coming out, and they had that thing that going on at night, that town hall meeting. They was going to lock him up. There was going to be a replay. They was going to lock him up during that. Nobody knew what time he was going to get locked up. We can agree on that, right? And I mean, because we all was taking guesses, because he was supposed to do a town hall, and they were going to say it was going to be recorded, and that's when they was going to lock him up, so people, wouldn't know. And we didn't know it was going to be the next day, and did it already happen? But how all them people get out there on the side of the road? I mean, you think Grandma was just sitting there washing the dishes, look outside, and say, "Here comes Donald Trump, and let me get my people to the road"? That is not how it happened. And that picture, you're right, it is iconic. And the first place he went to was Twitter.
Yep.
He didn't go to his Truth Social. He took that picture straight to Twitter.
Right.
And that's a bad thing, bro. Like, I'm telling y'all, Twitter X is not what you think. Now, I know for a fact that I know that Zuckerberg owns the X in the social media world, and Microsoft owns the X outside of that. They own the X on SpaceX. That's a proven fact, and I got that fact. And for Donald Trump to run the Twitter with that right after what happened in July, after Fed now going into play, and then Mark Zuckerberg not tweeting in 11 years, and then he sends out his first tweet, and it's two Supermans pointing at each other. And I mean,
two Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man. I'm sorry, not Superman. You're right, Spider-Man pointing at each other, and then him to send that iconic picture. And why did if that woman hated him so much, why did she let him take the picture that way? She could have made him stand there and hold up a number like they did back in 1960 if she wanted to, or if they wanted to in the jail. Like it was all. You're right. It's too orchestrated. It's too iconic. It's too.
Well, it speaks to a lot of people, and it really is. It's historic in a sense. That's why it's such an icon. And then the glare. And I think Trump himself said, "I didn't think it'd come out that good, but I just looked right into the camera and they snapped the shot." And anyway, Randall, we got a lot of calls rolling in here, man. Appreciate it.
I love y'all, man.
See you, brother, man.
Let's go to who's next. Biologist is next. Hey, biologist, how you doing?
Oh, putting up explosives. Had a long day of blowing beaver dams up.
Oh, all right.
Right.
I don't think our IQs are getting lower. I heard that comment.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're allowing technology to do our thinking for us. When we were young, and I'm about to be 52 in March, we had to memorize our phone numbers.
Yep.
We had to memorize everything. We didn't have some square box and some crazy way to do math. We just did it. We memorized our multiplication table. But nowadays, we allow our kids, and I don't allow my kids. My daughter she's 11th grade, took her first ACT, made a 27.
All right.
But I've never allowed her to use technology for her mind. And I think we've allowed phones and everything else, and parents use phones as a babysitter, to where they don't. Who remembers phone numbers anymore? We had to memorize it back in the day, which is a use of your mind.
Right.
To memorize, to learn. It's simple things like that we've lost that skill set.
It's funny. I still remember my home number.
279-9287.
Right.
Now, my mom and dad have moved, so it doesn't matter anymore.
Right.
They moved, but they had that for years. I know the only reason that I knew my wife now, and Joey knows who my wife is, but they had the same phone number, so when I was reconnecting with her, I remembered her phone number because it was the same one for 20 years. But I remember other phone numbers. I remember zip codes. I remember things. Remember when we had to actually know how to write a letter and put down the zip code?
Right.
We've lost that ability, and that's because of technology. So I don't know. It's a catch-22 on that.
I think
the other thing that I wanted to say was a friend of mine black guy, his daughter, and my daughter, and I'm Asian, but I got a Caucasian wife, interracial marriage, blah, blah. They get along, and the other day we were going to a soccer game, and I picked up his bag. I said, what pistol you got in there? He goes, well, I got a 40. I said, well, I got my 40 right here. And I asked him, I said, so why as a Democrat do you think you should be able to carry a firearm? And all he goes, oh, man, I'm a Republican. I went, what? He goes, no, you don't realize how many black folks are Republicans. We just can't say it because it's looked down upon. And we're talking, and he goes, and a lot of it is the church priest because that's big in the black community. And they go, they're all paid for. He goes, Dana, I vote for Trump all day long. That's what I did last time. I carry a firearm, and when I'm with my daughter alone, I carry one in my trunk and one here because I have to be careful and protect my child.
Right.
So I don't think there's as many like Duke who think the way they do. I think there's a lot other, and there's a lot that are talking to people like my friend, that the community, the Democrat Party, remember, there was, and I'd like Duke to respond to this when he wants to, they were the start of slavery, or the KKK. They were the ones with, and he can look at the history itself. It's all out there. It's all online. He can figure it out. But there's a lot more, I believe, that, like my friend, and they're very big-time Republicans because they said, we want the ability to do stuff on our own, protect ourselves, and just live our own dream. And that's it.
Amen.
So, and that's my comment. Listen to y'all. Appreciate it. Y'all have a good day, sir.
Hey, you too.
Call.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, biologist. 272-9228.
I was hoping he didn't blast to go blast some beavers.
Crap, I gotta hit this break. Mike, Dennis, y'all hold on. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where dump truck drivers are in demand. Wiley Sanders is on the grow. We need dump truck drivers now. Call 855-77-9785.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Hi, everybody. Call it springtime in February. A big warming trend through midweek before some major late week cooling. Today, a great start to the week with sunshine, high in the upper 70s. Tonight, clouds on the increase, but very mild, low 58. Tomorrow, partial sunshine, unseasonably warm, becoming breezy, high 82. In fact, I've got us around 81 on Wednesday with risk of showers, maybe a thunderstorm by Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night. Then much colder on Thursday. That's sleep day. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors & More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors & More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey Publix.
Make 2024 the year you break away from the chain stores and join us here at Adams Drugs. We value your business and want to provide you the best customer service at the lowest possible price. We've been serving up excellent customer service here in the River region for over 62 years.
I made the swap to Adams Drugs and I couldn't be happier. Having a job and then getting 3 kids to all of their activities keeps me busy. I don't have an hour to waste waiting on a prescription. At Adams, they know me and my family. I get in and out in minutes, and when I can't get by Adams, they'll bring the prescription right to my door.
What are you waiting for? Come in to Adams Drugs and let us earn your business. Our friendly and personal staff will talk with you and answer any questions you may have about your prescriptions. Your satisfaction is our #1 goal. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for the location nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local independent Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Everyone that eats 3 meals a day is participating in agriculture, whether they know it or not. I'm Shep Morris, and I've been farming all my life. Caroline Dobson cares about farmers like us. We need somebody in Washington that understands us and understands what's happening and why it's happening. Caroline Dobson is the best candidate in this race. Caroline's tough. She's a fighter. The Biden administration is not about rural America. The labor cost and fuel costs are just strangling small business. Joe Biden is out of touch. The farmer didn't vote for him, and he doesn't care about him. We need people like Caroline in Washington, D.C. that give people confidence to move forward. Caroline Dobson is a fifth-generation farmer. She's got grit, she's got country values, and she's got what it takes. Nobody's going to dig their heels in and fight for us like Caroline Dobson.
On March 5th, vote for Farm Pack endorsed Caroline Dobson for Congress.
I'm Caroline Dobson, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Dobson for Congress.
I'm Republican Jacqueline Tomlinson. You've heard me here on the Greg Budell Show quite a bit over the years. Running for office is the last thing I thought I'd do, but when your community calls, you answer. With more than 15 years of family law experience, I've helped local families through some of their toughest times. And so, I'm asking for your vote in the Republican primary on Tuesday, March 5th for Circuit Judge.
Vote for my mommy!
Paid for by the Tomlinson Campaign, P.O. Box 821, Wetumpka, Alabama, 36092.
The premier place the river region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Let's go right to the phones and talk to Michael Cohen of Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael, how you doing this afternoon?
Hey, Joey, how are you?
Oh, doing great. I feel good. And Eddie, how you doing?
Hanging in here like a hair in a biscuit, bro.
All right, then.
He's going to have to quit that Hardee's thing.
Oh, so I'm looking at thinkcohens.com right now. It's a great site to kind of shop and window shop from home. And my cursor is falling over the appliance section. Now, tell folks about kind of the kitchen options you have there. I know that's a broad category, but y'all have all the appliances to fill out a kitchen.
That's right. That's right. I mean, you know, we have ranges, which is the easiest way of cooking. It comes with your cooktop and an oven built into it. We also have cooktops, which would kind of be part of the range. We also have ovens that can mount into the wall. Some of them are single. Some of them are double. Some of them are 24. Some of them are 27. Some of them are 30. Most people are going with 30 in the new homes today. We also have over-the-counter microwaves. We also have all the hoods. We have microwaves that you can build into a trim kit and put in the cabinet. We have beverage centers to hold your wine. We have beverage centers to hold your beer. We have ice machines. We have refrigerators. We have dishwashers. So after you make a mess, you can clean all your dishes. You know, we pretty much have the gamut of what you need in the kitchen.
So I would suggest to folks, maybe, you know, some people are building right now, or they're maybe not a whole house, they're doing an add-on, or they're really renovating and upgrading a space. You can get all of your needs, especially kitchen appliances, there at Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. And again, you can go to thinkcohens.com, but I really encourage you to stop by their location on the boulevard, 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. They're open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday and 9 to 4 on Saturdays.
You're doing very good.
I'm working at it.
You are very learnable or teachable.
Man, that boy over there is coachable. That's what I like about him right now.
Coachable.
He's coachable.
And you always encourage your listeners to come here. I like that.
I think that's the best way.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Well, I appreciate it as always, Michael. We'll talk again Wednesday.
Thank you. Take care.
272-9228. Well, where did some callers dropped off? But let's go to Dennis. Hey, Dennis.
Hey, Dennis.
Good afternoon, gang. How are y'all?
Doing good. How you doing, man?
I'm doing bare milling, enjoying the retired life and cutting wood.
All right. Cut some wood, baby. Cut some wood.
Hey, I was talking about Duke's viewpoint and President Trump. Look, I love Duke to death.
Yeah.
And I know he's a real stand-up guy. And I bet he sleeps with a Trumpy bear.
If he don't, we ought to get him one.
I was wondering why you're buttering him up. He snuck that one in there, didn't he?
If you get his address, I will make sure that he'll get one.
I'll work on that. I will work on that.
Hey, Duke, love you, man. I'll send two. So you put one in the car and actually travel with it. You have one at home and one in the car.
And strapping him the seatbelt and
But of
shotgun. Yeah, of course.
Absolutely, safety all the way, guys.
Well, I appreciate you calling in, Dennis. Really do.
Have a good day.
Let's go to Joe. Hello, Joe. How you doing?
Hey, Joe, how are you doing?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
All righty.
Life's good.
All right. I'm going to get y'all speaking on that. Yeah, how's it going?
Life is good. Doing all right.
Good. I just wanted to call in about freedom.
Mm-hmm.
The in vitro fertilization ruling by the Supreme Court. That is taking the freedom away. And there's nothing the Alabama legislature can do about it. The constitutional amendment supersedes any legislative action. So we take another constitutional amendment to restore the freedom to have babies through in vitro fertilization. Also, I'm a black Alabamian.
Sure.
And I just don't see that big rise of support for Trump. And the outcome of South Carolina doesn't support what some of your other callers are saying. Y'all be blessed and have a good day.
You too.
Appreciate it, Joe. 272-9228. 272-9228. We got to hit our top of the hour break, and candidate joining us after top of the hour, Thomas Govan, rejoining the show. He's been on a few times now. Good to have him calling in. And we're getting close, folks. A week and a day to
that's right.
Super Tuesday.
Literally, it's here.
Now, to Joe's point, we got about 30 seconds for me to comment on it. Well, in terms of black support for Trump, maybe Joe's not seeing it in Alabama, but again, we could go into the details. I think there is a younger cohort, and I don't care what race or ethnicity you are, there's a younger cohort who consumes media differently, and even though they're not going to jump on the traditional Republican train, they might go with the whole hand grenade Trump sort of thing.
Gotcha.
As for the in vitro fertilization issue, I think there are a lot of folks making the argument that it would be, you need a constitutional amendment to change this thing, though I think Tim Melson, Anthony Daniels are going to try to test their legislation and push it forward and have the courts test it. I thought the courts upheld the law, and if we want to change it, we need to change it.
I read about it in BBC this weekend, which surprised me. It made it all the way there.
Oh, yeah.
They're not a big fan of BBC. I just
Well, and this is what you get when you have government.
Yeah. So we should have no government, Joey?
Yes.
No government.
That is the best government.
Who's going to pay for my Medicaid if we don't have no government?
You. Maybe you can get a friend or family member to help you.
Oh, okay. Joey. Help a brother out with some Medicaid.
We got to hit the stop hour break. Be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Alabama lawmakers have begun scrambling for ways to protect in vitro fertilization services after a state Supreme Court ruling that frozen embryos are to be considered children under state law. Alabama Governor Kay Ivey says the state wants to foster a culture of life. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz has made clear that he remains reluctant to send Taurus long-range cruise missiles to Ukraine, pointing to a risk of his country becoming directly involved in the war. Germany is now the biggest supplier of military aid to Ukraine after the United States. And a private U.S. lunar lander expected to stop working on Tuesday. Its mission cut short after landing sideways near the south pole of the moon. The Dow is down 14 points. The NASDAQ ahead 27. This is SRN News.
The new FedNow system is paving the way for the digital dollar. It grants the government unprecedented access to your financial transactions. This isn't just an invasion of privacy. It's a direct assault on your liberty and hard-earned money. It's another reason why I recommend physical gold IRAs from the Birch Gold Group. I'm Lance Wallnow. I'm a news analyst and a podcaster with nearly 25 million downloads to people just like you who cherish their financial independence. A precious metals IRA can help you avoid the scrutiny of Big Brother while also preserving your retirement savings through almost anything, including economic crashes, political instability, and even hyperinflation. To find out more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word FAITH to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and see how a gold IRA can help you. Text FAITH to 989898. And remember, there's no strings attached. Text FAITH to the number 989898 right now, and I pray you're blessed with continued prosperity.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where dump truck drivers are in demand. Wiley Sanders is on the grow. We need dump truck drivers now. Call 855-77-9785.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Hi, everybody. Call it springtime in February. A big warming trend through midweek before some major late week cooling. Today, a great start to the week with sunshine, high in the upper 70s. Tonight, clouds on the increase, but very mild, low 58. Tomorrow, partial sunshine, unseasonably warm, becoming breezy, high 82. In fact, I've got us around 81 on Wednesday with the risk of showers, maybe a thunderstorm by Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night. Then much colder on Thursday. That's sleep day. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Whether you're buying a home or auto or consolidating debt, CB&S Bank's personal loans get you where you need to go. Go to cbsbank.com to find a location near you or apply online today. All loans subject to credit approval, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
1819 News.
A retired school teacher is going to go up against Congresswoman Terry Sewell in the Congressional District 7 race. Robin Lideker is now the presumptive nominee for the Republican Party after the only other challenger in the party primary has withdrawn his name from the race. Christian Horn's name will still be on the ballot since those ballots have already been printed, but Horn's votes will not be certified. Lideker was voted the Alabama Teacher of the Year back in 1997. This is her first race for a congressional district. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Some of the greatest blessings is just having people that care about you. To have someone that's just going to love you and make you feel important. They encourage you to be in church. They encourage you to be in prayer. They encourage you to be in your Bible. Now it's a part of my day every day. My house parents planted seeds in me that you can see where those seeds have sprouted in my life and helped change my life.
Big Oak Ranch, a Christian home for children needing a chance.
A grand jury indicts a Dothan woman for the death of her newborn baby. Jakayla Williams is charged with placing that baby in a dumpster back in August of 2023 and then lying to investigators. Williams first told police that she gave birth to the baby at home and then handed the baby off to a nurse at Southeast Health. But surveillance video shows that Williams never entered that hospital. 2 Florida men are under arrest in Auburn after a high-speed chase on Interstate 85 and then a foot chase with police. 30-year-old Damian Waller and 24-year-old Cedric Page Jr. are both from Fort Lauderdale. The chase occurred after police were responding to auto burglary reports, and the suspects were spotted in a vehicle. The 2 men are now facing multiple charges related to theft, identity fraud, and breaking and entering. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Hello, Alabama. This is your all-time favorite president, Donald J. Trump. My friend, Congressman Gary Palmer, is running for re-election to Alabama's 6th Congressional District. Gary is an America First conservative who is fighting to secure our border, strengthen our military, and protect and defend our undersea Second Amendment. Alabama, please get out and vote for Gary Palmer for Congress on March 5th. He will not let you down. Thank you.
I'm Gary Palmer, and I approve this message.
This is your Black Health 365 moment. April is National Stress Awareness Month, a time to learn more about the negative impact of stress. There is no single definition for stress, but the most common explanation is physical, mental, or emotional strain or tension. Long-term stress can have harmful impacts on physical and mental health. Talk to a professional so that you can familiarize yourself with ways to manage your stress. This has been your Black Health 365 moment, because a healthy lifestyle is a daily choice.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm Joey. He's Eddie.
Hey, Joey. Look at that headline up there, Joey.
I'll look when you use your man voice.
Hey, Joey, look at that headline up there.
What about it?
Trump and Biden to go to the Texas border on Thursday. I think they're going to have a duel. Duel at the border. Just what I'm hoping for.
I don't think that's...
You don't think it's going to happen?
Are you okay?
No, I just think that'd be really
Did
cool.
you start the little drinking early?
A little shippy ship?
I just need you to tighten up here because we got a guest. We have Thomas Govan. He is a candidate.
Oh, that's right.
For the Court of Criminal Appeals, Place 2. Thomas, how are you today, sir?
Doing well. Thank you so much for having me on. Looking forward to visiting with you again, and can't believe we are 8 days away from the March 5th election.
So, for folks who haven't heard our past interviews, let's give them the Thomas Govan 101. Tell us about yourself.
Sure. Well, thank you again. Yes, I live in Montgomery. I'm currently a prosecutor with the Attorney General's office. I'm chief of the Criminal Trials Division in Attorney General Steve Marshall's office. Been a prosecutor my entire career, tried cases throughout the state of Alabama. I've also done appellate work in the Court of Criminal Appeals, the court that I'm running for. I was previously the chief of the Capital Litigation Division in the Attorney General's office and handled a variety of death penalty cases that we prosecuted on appeal in state and federal court. Had the privilege of arguing a case in the U.S. Supreme Court in 2018, and I currently am Air Force Reserve officer as well, and just been blessed with some unique experiences to serve the people of Alabama as a prosecutor in our nation in the Air Force, and want to take that experience to serve the people of Alabama on the Court of Criminal Appeals as well. The most important things about me, I'm a Christian. I'm a member of Trinity Church in Montgomery, and I'm a husband and father of 4 beautiful kids who keep me busy and are really the love of my life.
Well, and that's, I think, the top priority. Though, when you told your wife that you're running, what did she say?
Well, and she was 100%, 110% on board. And she knows that when we got married, I wanted to be in public service, as a prosecutor. We met when I was in law school, and so service has always been something really important to me, whether in my civilian role as a prosecutor, serving in the Air Force. Be honest, when I signed up to join the Air Force as a reserve officer, that was probably the biggest shock, just because I had to go off for a couple many weeks of boot camp training away from her. But I've been so blessed. She's been just the rock. Come with me on a lot of our campaign events, and really she's been the star at home, taking our kids, picking them up from school, homework, taken into basketball practice, baseball practice, gymnastics practice, tennis practice. All four of our kids have different sports and activities, and so for her to maintain that while I'm out on the road campaigning in a statewide race, I'm just very, very blessed.
Yeah, it truly is a blessing. Now, for folks who don't fully understand the function of the Court of Criminal Appeals, let's lay that out for them.
Sure, yeah. So the Court of Criminal Appeals, it's a statewide court based in Montgomery. It's a 5-person court. There's no trials that actually occur in the Court of Criminal Appeals. It's what we call an appellate court. So anytime there's a conviction in a criminal court around the state, so in my current role now as a prosecutor, if we obtain a conviction, no matter who's trying that case, it will be appealed to the Court of Criminal Appeals. And they will review those cases for any type of errors that are alleged by the defendant, and there to ensure that there's no constitutional violations or violations of state law. So as you can imagine, the docket on the Court of Criminal Appeals is extensive. It's one of the heaviest caseloads of any of our appellate courts because there's so many criminal cases in our state that get appealed up. And so that's why I believe I can really add a layer of experience to the court, both as a trial prosecutor and an appellate prosecutor, to jump right in and be able to handle those caseload with the experience of me litigating in that court for over a decade, but also the practical experience of trying cases and working with victims of crime, working with law enforcement. That unique experience, I think, can really benefit the state of Alabama with my experience on the Court of Criminal Appeals.
Now, as you've been out and campaigning, getting to know folks, meeting folks out there on the campaign trail, is there anybody who sticks out in your mind that you didn't know before, but now you're probably never going to forget them?
Oh, well, I will say, we've been going around the state and 2, 3, 4 times over, and it's really neat when you go back. We've been encouraging people to go with Govan for the Court of Criminal Appeals, and when you bump back into someone at a meeting and they're like, "Hey, you're that Go with Govan guy," that's really encouraging. And I'll tell you, it's neat on a campaign statewide. You interact with a lot of other candidates who are running, like congressional members. Right. There's a lot of congressional races right now. But I'll tell you, the best people are just the regular folks who are engaged, who come to our to the meetings, just salt of the earth people. For example, I was endorsed by the Alabama Farmers Federation and got to spend a lot of time going around the state, meeting with farmers and hearing their needs and some of the issues that they see in our judicial system. That was probably one of the most wonderful experiences for me, just to meet people, just regular folks like us, who care about our state, care about our government. And that really has been the most enjoyable part for me because, a lot of times, Joe, you'll see all the craziness coming out of Washington, D.C., sometimes the craziness even that comes out of Montgomery. And to be reminded that there are just good conservative folks around the state who love our country, love our state, care about their families, care about their faith, and that is really, really encouraging. So, so I think just the normal, regular folks like us who we see on the campaign trail, that's who I'm going to remember the most, and folks that I developed friendships with along the way that I hope to continue for a lifetime.
So if folks are listening here and they want to help you out heading into, just again, 8 days out from Election Day, folks, how can they do so?
Well, thank you. Yes. Please follow us along on Facebook or Instagram, Thomas Govan for Alabama, and our website, too, Thomas Govan for Judge. You can learn about our background, experience, and please, spread the word. There's a lot of important races on this ballot, a lot of judicial races, and so to please look at the candidates and see how what their platforms are, and then go out and vote. And I would appreciate everyone's vote and support based on our experience as a trial and appellate prosecutor, and would ask everyone to go with Govan for the Court of Criminal Appeals on March 5th.
Well, I appreciate your time again, and best of luck on Super Tuesday, sir. Really, best of luck.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Joey. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, Thomas. And Thomas Govan there. And, it's talked to him 3-4 times now. I think impressive guy. A lot of candidates, though, running for judicial positions. And it's, I've said this before, but I'll keep saying it. The judicial candidates are a different type of candidate in the sense that, when somebody running for Congress comes in, we can kick around all sorts of issues. And what's in the news, it's really not, I could try, but they're not going to comment on things that might come before the court.
Exactly.
So,
But we don't really want them to. I mean, I'd hate for them to
sully something.
Remember that time he was on that silly Joy Clark show?
Right. But it's been great getting to know a lot of these folks running.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty competitive race, I think, between Brian Taylor and Sarah Stewart for Chief Justice. I think Judge McCool, Chris McCool, he's actually the position Thomas is running for.
Okay.
He's sitting there now, but he's running for Supreme Court. Rich Anderson, fantastic, running for the Court of Criminal Appeals, too.
Really like Rich.
So there's a lot of talent. Of course, there's one person I'm forgetting.
Really?
No, I'm not. Jacqueline Tomlinson, as well as Nicole Clark, both of them running for
That's right.
The family court there. So, I mean, a lot of folks. And I'm happy to see Alabama is expanding its judiciary.
Me too.
A little bit overdue.
Honestly, I had no idea it was as backed up and all as it is. And even this is going to help a little bit. But, man, you get in the court system and you realize that thing moves at a backward snail pace. It's just too slow.
That's what we get for having the government run it as a monopoly.
This is true. This is true, Joey.
People lack imagination. This part of the program brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And they do not lack imagination.
No, they do not.
Because they've helped so many folks. They can kind of see all the angles. They can see not just what's ahead, but what's around the corner. Sorry, I stole that line from Senator Brett. It's a good line, though.
That's a good one.
But that is Alabama Home Mortgage. So they'll actually sit down with you, get to know you, get to understand your goals in buying a home or maybe refinancing that home, because they're actual local folks who live in your backyard. And again, this is not their first rodeo.
No.
I believe Kim started Alabama Home Mortgage. She was working in mortgage origination with a big bank.
Large bank. That's right.
Probably know the name of it. And she realized, you know what? The people I'm serving, based on my knowledge, I don't think I'm serving them as well as I could if I started my own business.
She knew she could do it better.
And she's proven that over all these years. And finding talent like Madeline Cannon as well, they really can help you out. So whether you're buying a home, they can walk with you every step of the way from pre-approval all the way to closing day, or if you're looking to refinance to get credit card debt off your back or any sort of debt you need to consolidate, or it could be you have student loans still that are hanging over your head. They can do a special rate refinance to help you out with that. So call Alabama Home Mortgage today. That's 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies like Kim and Madeline. Prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender. More news and views in the afternoon after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Fellow patriots, this is a call to action. Hi, I'm Cedric Coley, an America First conservative for District 3 of the Montgomery County Commission. I believe our republic is under siege by enemies both foreign and domestic, but I'm not one to just complain. I supported President Trump in 2016. I stood with him, a part of the Stop the Steal movement in 2020. I helped raise awareness against tyranny during the pandemic. On Super Tuesday, I asked that you help me hold the line for liberty right here in Montgomery County. Paid for by the Committee to Elect Cedric Coley, P.O. Box 242021, Montgomery, Alabama 36124.
Conservative Justice Sarah Stewart has the experience to lead Alabama's courts. As a tough-on-crime judge, Sarah Stewart presided over hundreds of cases, giving tough sentences to the worst criminals. Republicans can trust Justice Sarah Stewart to defend the Constitution and protect our families. On March 5th, vote conservative Republican Sarah Stewart for Alabama Chief Justice. Paid for by Sarah Stewart Campaign, 2029B, Airport Boulevard, Mobile, Alabama, 36606.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your market report. How is the real estate market and what does 2024 hold for us? Last year, over 4,700 homes sold and closed through realtors, and the average sales price was $245,000. People who have owned real estate over the last 2 to 3 years have profited by keeping their homes and now have more equity in their home than ever. The The people who listed their homes with realtors were able to find ready and willing buyers that paid at or above their asking price. Mortgage companies and local builders have found ways to overcome higher rates with attractive programs that allow for low-cost refinancing when the rate drops. Some of the local mortgage companies have new programs that help buyers with low down payment programs, such as one program with 1% down or even less. If you haven't bought a house yet, now's the time. For all the information, call Bo Goodson at 221-2883 or the Goodson Group at 551-0225.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. When you call Alabama Home Mortgage, you will immediately see the difference in pricing. Not only do we offer the most competitive rates, but our closing costs rank among the lowest in the industry. How do we do it? Because we can. We do not have the overhead that big banks and lenders do. Those big banks and lenders have big expenses. And what do? They pass those expenses along to you. Meanwhile, here at Alabama Home Mortgage, we receive wholesale rates which result in big savings that we pass along to you. Don't pay more for less. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our rates and pricing are just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon, 272-9228 if you want to get in on the program. Also, again, folks, you can always check out Joey Clark Live on YouTube. Like and subscribe. That's Joey Clark Live on the YouTube. And we're growing by the day.
We are.
We're at 1,475 subscribers. So we're trying to get to 1,500. Broke
That's the
1,000
goal.
last week.
That's the goal, baby.
I like that momentum, Eddie. I like it very much indeed. But, sometimes people wait to pick their shots.
Okay.
For instance, I write a weekly column. So whether I really have something like that's eating me up that I have to say or not, I got to produce that weekly column
Correct.
for 1819
Yeah,
News.
that's right.
And it's a fun exercise. Well, fun isn't always the word. It's like having homework every weekend. That's well, Joey, why don't you write more of them and have them in the... Okay, thanks, Mom. Appreciate it. I know.
Prepare, Joey.
But you know this fella named Brian Dawson, right?
Oh, yeah, man. I love that guy.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
He's a good dude, man. Solid
like
dude.
a bear of a man.
Yeah. No, he's man's man.
And, well, he picks his shot. He isn't writing weekly columns.
He got time, Joey. Busy man.
He is a very busy man. But he had one that just dropped today.
Oh, the good one?
I haven't even read it. I just saw it was put up. Should we just read
I
it
think
live?
you should just read it.
Do it live?
Do it live, baby.
So the title is, from Brian Dawson, November Gambling Vote is a GOP-sponsored Get Out the Vote campaign for Democrats.
Yeah.
The November Gambling Vote is a GOP-sponsored Get Out the Vote campaign for Democrats.
Okay.
Brian Dawson writes, the Alabama legislature never ceases to surprise me. Here, our state has a Republican supermajority in both the House and Senate, yet the people who run those chambers are moderates at best. In the case of the two most recent House speakers, Nathaniel Ledbetter and Mac McCutcheon, it seems we have Democrats in disguise, both under the puppet-like control of political operative Steve Raby. Under their leadership, the Alabama legislature has passed a gas tax and legalized marijuana. A complete and total disaster. And honestly, Eddie, as you and I are more on the side of freedom in that sense, like people already doing it, like it has been an absolute disaster.
And now the legislature is pushing a full-blown casino gambling bill that will reward groups who have illegally run gambling establishments for decades.
Yeah, that's right. Got to keep grandfather.
Like, it's worse than the marijuana bill.
I think it's a lot worse, but
anyway. And again, we're pretty live and let live.
Yes, we are.
We're not necessarily against all these even vices, so to call, but like
we're very much so live and let live.
And we're not against the government getting out of the way. We might tell you, "Hey, Dad, stop gambling." Except my dad doesn't gamble, but that's
get out of the way.
Right. Brian Dawson continues. He says, "However, this legislation will not only expand gambling, it also enables Medicaid expansion and a whole new expansion of government via a gaming commission, complete with its own law enforcement branch, not under ALEA or the state attorney general."
Just don't like that at all.
Yeah, that's one little.
Like that at all.
Right. But the icing on the cake, writes Brian Dawson, is that Republicans in the Alabama legislature want the public to vote on this gambling constitutional amendment during the November general election. Yes, you read that right. Not only is this legislation not conservative, it is also nothing more than a GOP-sponsored get out the vote campaign for Democrats. It is as if Democrats wrote and promoted the entire piece of legislation for their own political gains. How so, you ask? Here's how things will likely play out. Again, we're reading from an op-ed just dropped from Brian Dawson. He doesn't do these often.
No, he doesn't.
Education lottery will likely be the label slapped on this constitutional amendment placed on the November ballot. It will say little to nothing about exclusive casino rights being given to criminal enterprises. But whether the ballot says gambling, gaming, or lottery, Democrats will come out in droves to place their votes. This is problematic for Republican candidates, particularly those running to win Alabama's newly redrawn minority majority, 2nd congressional district. The federal court system just made an example of Alabama by redrawing our congressional district maps approved by the process outlined in our state constitution. The courts refused to keep like-minded communities together, sacrificing the representation of millions in the process. It is now clear that none of the maps proposed by Republican supermajorities had any chance of success, Republican Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall said about the redrawing. Treating voters as individuals would not do. Instead, our elected representatives and our voters must apparently be reduced to skin color alone. Marshall added, no Alabamian, black, white, Republican, or Democrat can look at the court-drawn maps that will soon be imposed on us and see anything other than the prioritization of race above all else. Our communities, local economies, and basic geography will be cast aside in the radical pursuit of racial quotas. There simply is no other explanation for the absurd disfigurement. That's Steve Marshall. I don't think it's necessarily the pursuit of racial quotas. I think the truth here, Mr. Attorney General, is that equity means the Democrats have to win.
Thank you.
That's what democracy means. It's in their name, right?
Here lately, that's exactly what it means.
Like when the Republicans win, democracy's like...
Democracy loses.
Right. And we have courts willing to enforce who aren't elected.
Right.
One day we got to break down the beauty of our system in an innate democracy.
Hope you bring a ball of liquor.
The beauty of our system is that it contains all three forms of classical government, the one, the few, and the many. And they're supposed to compete with one another. And unfortunately, the few... Government of the few of an oligarchy has kind of ruled the roost for a long time as they drape themselves in the language of liberty and democracy. That said, if this bill passes, writes Brian Dawson, and Alabamians vote on gambling on the November ballot, we are facing a significant impact on our state's political landscape. It very well could be the critical factor in turning out enough Democrat votes, kissing any chance of a Republican win and Alabama 2 goodbye. This would be one of the worst self-inflicted political wounds Alabama Republicans could make, and it could have repercussions potentially lasting decades. For if the gambling legislation turns out votes for Democrats, causing them to win Alabama 2, the Alabama federal delegation will lose a GOP congressional seat. The loss of that seat could be the deciding factor in causing the loss of a Republican majority in the U.S. House of Representatives. Goes back to my point I was making to Steve Martin, and I'm sure Steve gets that too. He gets the politics of it. Imagine if Donald Trump were to win back the presidency and Republicans took a majority in the U.S. Senate. only to lose a majority in the House because the Republican-controlled Alabama legislature wanted gambling so bad they were willing to sacrifice anything for it. That is the path Republicans are on with this current get out the vote campaign for the Democrat Party, cleverly disguised as a quote-unquote gambling bill. If Alabama's Republican leaders and members of the Alabama Senate don't want to encourage vote turnout for their opponents, then they must take a stand and kill this bill before it has any chance to irreparably damage their party nationwide. But then, perhaps that's what they secretly want, particularly if many in the Alabama legislature are Democrats in disguise. Again, that is from the desk of Brian Dawson. And
good one.
I think the thrust of it is quite on the money. 272-9228. We got to hit another break. But first, this part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And there at Montgomery Men's Health, well, guys, two things affect most men as we mature. Erectile dysfunction, that's no fun. And low testosterone.
Right.
And these things are nothing to deny, put off, and be ashamed about.
Medical.
And it's not something to wait to get fixed or to get looked into. Because it could be, that lady just broke your heart into a million pieces, so you're not really in the mood.
Right.
Or it could be you have an underlying issue, say, with your testosterone. And there are a lot of guys, Eddie, who are walking around and they have no idea that's what's causing them so many problems.
I know it, Joe.
Like lack of energy, lack of motivation, feel like they're living and walking through life in a fog.
Yeah.
Seeing unwanted weight gain, loss of muscle mass, even a decrease in sex drive.
Happens.
Knowing whether you have low T is huge in combating some of these issues. There are even urologists now suggesting that men start getting their testosterone checked at the age of 18. It's happening to younger men, not just men as they mature. Again, a lot of guys don't know they're suffering from low T. So get by Montgomery Men's Health. The providers there will conduct a testosterone-focused lab for only $99. And if you do have low T problems, well, they have treatments there for low T at Montgomery Men's Health that can truly change lives. Men can experience higher energy, better gains in the gym. Brother. That's right, brother. Better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns, a faster metabolism. You usually even notice an increased libido.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Well said. You can actually book the same day that you call. Guys, it's time to feel amazing and hit your goals this year. That number, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment today. Be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hey, Republicans, did you hear Alabama had to redraw congressional lines? That means you get to vote for a new congressman in the 2nd Congressional District on March 5th. Lucky for us, we have a chance to vote for Dick Brubaker.
The Dick Brubaker who pledged to only serve 2 terms in the state Senate and then kept his promise to voters?
That Dick Brubaker.
The Dick Brubaker who believes in liberty, security, and limited government?
That Dick Brubaker.
The Dick Brubaker who lived and worked and worshipped in Alabama his whole life? The conservative businessman endorsed by Veterans for Trump? The Dick Brubaker who knows border security is national security?
That Dick Brubaker.
Hi, I'm Dick Brubaker, and I'm running for Congress. Military and national security is a proud part of the Brubaker family tradition. For the future of our nation, our children and grandchildren, America, we've got to take control of the border situation. Stop illegals, stop fentanyl. I'm Dick Brubaker, liberty, security, and limited government. I'm running for Congress, and I approve this ad.
Paid for by Brubaker for Congress.
Hi, I'm Dan Harris, Montgomery County Commissioner for District 1. During my tenure, I have championed those issues that directly affect the quality of life for the citizens of District 1 and the entire county. Since joining the Commission, MPS was able to obtain an overdue increase in funding, which will result in substantial improvements to public education. The county's cold case unit was created to help the families of victims of unsolved homicides obtain justice and a measure of closure. The county's summer youth jobs program was established, employing more than 300 young people since its inception, all while providing much-needed financial support for those nonprofits that are working to improve the quality of life for all Montgomery residents. Please help me continue this valuable work by going to the polls on March 5th and voting for Dan Harris, Montgomery County Commission, District 1. Paid for by committee to elect Dan Harris, Post Office Box 230491, Montgomery 36123.
Hey, this is Lyle from Margaret's Exquisite Jewelry, and I do my radio advertising on Blue Water. I'll tell you what, I use most of the stations, and I've been using it for so long. It's hard to tell with the money you spend on advertising if it does any good. When they come in and say, I heard you on the radio, I know it's Blue Water, and I love Blue Water.
Radio works. It's as simple as that. Call us to find out how radio can work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Earnest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Earnest, 334-279-7431. Earnest Financial, LLC.
Hi, everybody. Call it springtime in February. A big warming trend through midweek before some major late week cooling. Today, a great start to the week with sunshine, high in the upper 70s. Tonight, clouds on the increase, but very mild, low 58. Tomorrow, partial sunshine, unseasonably warm, becoming breezy, high 82. In fact, I've got us around 81 on Wednesday with the risk of showers, maybe a thunderstorm by Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night. Then much colder on Thursday. That's sleep day. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Thank you once again for voting ASE the best credit union and best mortgage company in Central Alabama's Reader's Choice Awards. We're honored to serve our members for 69 years and counting.
ASE Credit Union, your life, your goals, your ASE. All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. Again, 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation that we're, I guess, having.
Sure.
Of course, you can always comment, like, and subscribe there at Joey Clark Live on YouTube. Growing by the day. Join the party. The water's fun.
It's nice.
Yeah. You ready for pool parties again?
Not really.
You don't like pool parties?
Nah, someone always pees in the pool. It's usually me.
You don't think people pee in the lake?
Yeah, that's fine. Fish pee in the lake. I pee in the lake. I invite people to pee in the lake.
You need to be careful doing it.
Why? It's not the Amazon. In the Amazon,
No,
you can't do that.
I'm not talking about that. I mean, like the Marine Police.
No, they don't care. Well, they do care. I did know that. Yeah, they really care a little bit more than you would think.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I mean, when you got to go, you got to go.
Yeah.
Now, like, nobody can tell if you're just in the water, right?
No, nobody can tell. But, yeah. On a colder day, people have a bucket on their boat to go in. And sometimes, maybe if I see fishermen, I might ride close to them if I know somebody's riding the bucket in the boat and going to embarrass the crap out of them. Yeah. Because they know what you're doing.
Yeah. They know.
They know.
It's such a vulnerable position to be
very
in.
much so.
You ever gotten shy?
Oh, shy bladder? Yes.
It's the worst thing in the world.
When I worked at Appleton Wire, they told us 1 year in advance. 1 year, we're going to do a drug test. And they kept updating you throughout. So the day the drug test come, I can't pee. I got the shy bladder. And everybody knows. I mean, so when I'm walking back down, they're like, oh, did you fail? I was like, no, I couldn't go, man. Couldn't pee. I went back up there 2 more times.
Still didn't?
No, the third time I got an applause.
Okay. You can do it, Eddie.
I had the HR guy there. I had everybody there with me, and they were like, oh, we're going to go again, Eddie. And I walked out with a full sample and a round of applause. Very embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
It was very embarrassing.
And it hadn't happened to me often, but just weird moments where you're like, you just can't go.
Right.
I can't imagine somebody really does have that psychological issue where they just cannot go unless they're like in their home or something.
I'm sure there's a lot of people like that.
It's got to be awful.
Yeah.
Like nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Anyway, maybe they should jump in the lake.
They should. Very inviting.
Yeah.
Not so much this time of year. I think we're still at 52 degrees. So a little chilly.
I'm just trying to avoid talking about this headline. The U.S. has moved from being a creditor to a debtor nation. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. I think they should have announced that quite a while ago.
And, I love all the spin about the economy. In particular, inflation. Now, you know my favorite guy on these matters, right, Eddie?
Yeah.
Mr. Peter St. Onge.
I like that guy. I watched him a little bit this weekend.
Think he's fantastic. Yeah, he does like a weekend podcast where he sort of mashes up all his insights together.
I just started going down the rabbit hole with him. He's
great.
Some great history of just older stuff out there.
Yeah, and I think I could tentatively call him a friend. Like I became friends with him when he was living in Auburn.
There you go.
Working at the Mises Institute. Again, this is sort of the economics Javier Milei's throwing down there in Argentina.
Yep.
And essentially what Peter's been calling is saying that we're going to revisit the inflation episodes of the 1970s except on steroids.
That's what I'm worried
in particular. We've got inflation beat. It was trending. Oh no, it's coming back.
They keep telling us you got inflation beat, but if you're at the grocery store, if you just do a normal routine, you realize inflation continues to rise. I don't care what they're telling you.
And also, it's not like deflation happens.
It didn't.
But of course, there are entire schools of thought that say deflation's bad for the economy. Prices falling is bad.
It depends on those prices. It depends on the reason. But we are an inflated nation right now. Yeah. We're really inflated. So we've taken what would be 20 or 30 years worth of price change, and we've done it in the last 2 years.
Right. Well, no, here's the difference. I think deflation based on debt deleveraging can be awful. And it's, I think, the crash we're heading toward.
Right.
But even in, like, say, a housing market, which people are using houses for investment vehicles, too. It's not just a house and a place to live. But it wouldn't be the end of the world if, when Bush said the American dream is everybody owns a home.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is just pump out a lot of money and credit, especially to folks who don't need it, or to really rich fat cats who are...
That doesn't do a whole lot of good.
No, and doesn't that just up the cost? If you want everyday folks to own a home, wouldn't you let the market work to where prices fall?
Honestly, they want everyday people to own a home. Get out of the market.
Right.
Just get out of the way.
Right.
That's all they have to do.
So deflation based on competition and more production is a very good thing. In fact, it's good for working class people. It's good for people who are on fixed incomes. Good for people who like to save. It means your money can go further, buy more.
Money's going further. Why do you think I like to take vacations in places that are not as expensive here in the U.S.? I can get more for my dollar.
Right. But we're told by the powers that be that inflation, we've had too much inflation. We agree. We've had too much inflation over these past few years. But you always need a little bit of inflation. We need that 2% target.
No, we don't. We don't.
Oh, but we've got this, economist, Mr. Taylor. He's got the Taylor rule. Jerome Powell's a smart guy.
And you know as well as I do, they keep that target because that is the most that they feel comfortable stealing from you without us making a stink about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. That's our. Don't call it. It's their target, not ours.
And it's literally a tax on everybody. It's the most regressive tax there is. Because the rich guys who get the money first, they got new money to play with. But once that all trickles down into the economy, it means the money sitting in your bank account, if you have any, ain't going as far anymore.
It's a lot less than it used to be.
So speaking of that, Peter St. Onge has this take today. I believe what he's talking about is food costs are at a 30-year high.
Yeah, no surprise.
Let's listen in to Peter St. Onge.
Americans are spending a bigger part of their income on food than they did 30 years ago. In other words, at least going by food costs, we have made zero progress in 30 years. In fact, just last week, the Wall Street Journal actually published an article titled, quote, "To save money, maybe you should skip breakfast." Not a joke. I've mentioned in recent videos how government spending and mandates have gutted our productive economy, despite the media's happy talk and useful advice about skipping breakfast. We are to the point that while each generation used to get much richer than their parents, in fact, almost double their parents' income, today millennials pine for the glory days of their youth, living in an actual house their parents owned instead of eating ramen at 40 with their roommates.
We'll pause it there because, there are a lot of lazy millennials. There are a lot of lazy people in any generation.
There was a lot of us as well when we first came out of schools.
But I shared this, I think, on a day you weren't here. I think the silent generation boomers are about the same rate of home ownership, for instance. It's about a little over 70% for both of them. Gen Xers are right around 69%. Nice. Millennials are only like a little bit above 50. And, they're younger, and as you get older, you're supposed to accrue more wealth and be able to buy a home. But it's also like millennials ain't getting any younger. They're my age, 35. They're 40. And they're having a heck of a lot of problems working, doing a working class job or a middle class job, actually making ends meet, even with two incomes, if it's a husband and wife.
That's what's so crazy. With two incomes.
Right.
It's still a struggle fest.
So I don't blame boomers, or I blame some boomers and some silent majority folks who are, running policy. But I don't blame the average person of whatever age. I blame the government and their policies. And I blame the economists who have gotten so much wrong. And here's the kicker. Not only do they get it wrong, like an academic sense, you can have those arguments. They've built an entire system off of it. And it's amazing how the system seems to be leading to more for the rich and the powerful and the connected, those with the pull and the privilege, than it is for the everyday man, while those who are powerful and connected, rich with pull and privilege, claim they're doing it for the little man. We got to print up more to help.
I agree with
It's kind of like the person on fixed income on Social Security, where they say, well, you got to give them a cost of living increase. And you're like, yeah, that seems fair, but isn't that just going to cause more inflation?
Well, usually
maybe you shouldn't have inflated away the money in the first place.
That cost of living increase usually comes after inflation is just making people buy cat food again.
Same thing with the minimum wage. They're continuing to up it.
Oh, don't you get me going. You got some lady out there screaming minimum wage should be $50 an hour.
But let's keep going with Peter here.
A few days ago, the same Wall Street Journal put some stark numbers on it, reporting that the last time Americans spent this much of their paycheck on food, the internet did not exist, Terminator 2 was in the theaters, and Madonna was still rocking the pop charts. Americans now spend 11.4% of their income on food, with both groceries and restaurants getting worse. That's up from just over 9% before the pandemic and before Joe Biden. The journal thinks this will keep getting worse because of soaring prices for inputs and labor costs, especially since 22 states just hiked their minimum wage, which hits food production hard. Meanwhile, Americans' income, the other half of that number, have actually been falling since Joe Biden took office. According to my colleague EJ and Tony, the typical American household has lost $7,400 in lost annual income after inflation. If you had recently bought a house, that loss is almost double. So incomes are falling, food's more expensive, we are moving backwards. The journal notes correctly that food prices are never coming back down.
Listen.
At least it's never happened under the modern Federal Reserve. Any inflation they take, they keep. Even Joe Biden's supposed inflation victory just meant prices went up slower. They never went down. Ironically, that same Joe Biden was recently threatening food companies for reducing portions, which they do so consumers can afford the product, because his talking point is that printing money to fund $7 trillion of deficits, which largely are buying wars and the COVID lockdowns, had nothing to do with prices. It was all corporate greed. As in, companies were not greedy under Trump, but now they suddenly are. As Tom Woods puts it, that's like somebody asking why a plane crashed and Boeing says it was gravity. So what's next? Brought to you by Unchained.com. Harder times won't be news to people who are actually living in Joe Biden's economy. For those who can see past the manipulated and cherry-picked government statistics. From shrinking houses and falling homeownership, those millennials with ramen, to second jobs and now soaring food burdens, we're seeing real-world indicators that Americans are no longer making progress, that the golden goose is dying. A fresh episode of the podcast just dropped where I round up all the weekly videos. Check it out at petersaintange.com.
Again, Peter St. Ange. Fantastic fellow. Love his analysis.
I do too.
And I keep saying this. I had to reach out to him. I do. He mentioned a guy named Tom Woods. I want to reach out to him. We got to put together, I think, a little bit of cast, like a brain trust.
Yeah.
After we're done with Super Tuesday and stuff.
Okay.
We need to get a crew together for heading into November. I think that could be a lot of fun.
That'd be a lot of fun. I like the way he puts things, though. It's down there where everybody can get it. Doesn't try to blow anybody over their head. Doesn't try to say, hey, look how smart I am. He puts it down there because he wants the everyday man to get it.
Right.
I mean, he is putting out essentially a warning. He wants everyone to listen. I like the guy.
We got to hit this break. Hopefully we'll have Ray Bowles on the other side
We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going. But whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
I'm Republican Jacqueline Tomlinson. You've heard me here on the Greg Budell Show quite a bit over the years. Running for office is the last thing I thought I'd do, but when your community calls, you answer. With more than 15 years of family law experience, I've helped local families through some of their toughest times. And so, I'm asking for your vote in the Republican primary on Tuesday, March 5th for Circuit Judge. Vote for my mommy! Paid for by the Tomlinson Campaign, P.O. Box 821, Wetumpka, Alabama, 36092.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Okay, I didn't even mean to hit that. I was a little out of sorts because I'm looking at the comment section.
Oh boy.
And
don't fight the chat, Joey. Don't fight him.
I know who this guy is. I wouldn't fight him. He's a good dude. But he needs to watch his mouth. He says, Joey, Romex Engler does. Do you still do yoga or does your belly get in the way these days? Oof. Have you know, Romex Engler, I'm on a new regiment. I'm on a new workout program.
Okay.
You keep it up with the fat jokes, baby. Before you know it, I'll be an underwear model, all right?
Underwear model.
Going to take discipline over months.
Fruit of the Looms and Tidy Whities.
I'm not a Tidy Whities guy.
Neither am I.
What's I'd have to look down even at the Tommy John.
Ah.
Yeah.
When you get older, you just wear boxers.
No, I like these because it's like it breathes and it's nice.
That's why the whole reason boxers.
Mm. Anyway, don't worry about my belly so much, Romex.
He's worried about your health, man. That's a good thing. He's looking out for you, Joey.
I suppose it is.
Shame involved, but
suppose it is.
Don't fight the chat, Joey. It just makes it worse.
Let's just go to Ray Bowles from Bradley Carpet. Hey, Ray.
What's happening, Ray?
I can tell you the trick of losing weight, keeping it off.
Yeah?
Don't eat.
I gotta argue with that. One time I was sick and the doctor wouldn't let me eat for a week. You know how much weight I lost? Literally had nothing but water for a whole week. 0.0 pounds. Fat boy.
Oh, it drives Angie. It just drives Angie nuts. I'm like, oh, Christmas is over. I'm 8 pounds overweight. I'm just not going to eat this week. And I'll go all week and I'll just eat supper and that's it. And by the end of the week, I'm 10 pounds lighter.
Wow.
And she's like, this is just wrong.
That is wrong.
You're evil.
That's way wrong.
And it's once you shrink your stomach, you're used to it. You don't eat. It's easy. Isn't that right, Terry? You got to see Terry. He's starting to have to walk sideways in the door. How he gets it out of his little sports car, I don't know.
See, by the way, this is the difference between men and women. Like, if a guy's a little overweight, we make fun of you relentlessly.
Oh, yes.
It's fun.
We can, and he don't hurt our feelings.
No.
We can go home and eat his steak tonight. Not even think anything about it.
Right.
Yeah, that's a great thing. We got it, as men, we do have it made.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm a man. I'll put it that way.
Me too. I know that's for sure. But I can tell you one thing: if you really want a happy wife,
get
new floors. It's the best thing you can do for her right now is go ahead and call us. Get us out there. She's been telling you for 6 months ever since Thanksgiving that we got to do something about these floors.
Oh yeah.
We will make it so easy on you, and absolutely you'll have a happy family. Everybody, the kids, the dogs, the cats, everybody's going to be happy with this decision.
So that number's still 285-8117?
It is 285-8117. And hey, whoever came in the other day looking for a hardwood cleaner, you just came in.
Hardwood cleaner has come in.
I don't know who it was. I can't remember. That was last week. I'm sorry. It came in. The hardwood cleaner is here.
All right, well, we'll keep the word out there, buddy.
Good job, guys. Hey, I appreciate y'all.
Thanks, Ray.
Thank you, Ray. See you, brother.
Again, that number, 285-8117. Be sure to tell Ray and the team that you heard Ray Bowles here on the radio with Joey and Eddie. So we got about 4 shopping minutes left. Actually, more like 3.5. Did we learn anything today?
We learned that Nikki Haley, I guess we learned over the weekend, she's still not going to quit. She ain't got no quit in her. Mainly because the money keeps making her go. But learned that.
Yeah, she's got no quit in her.
Yep.
Trump has no chill.
We learned Joey has a new regiment working.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that.
Check back in a week.
Yeah.
We learned that the Ukrainian intel officials are now saying actually Navalny died of natural causes, like a blood clot.
Speaking of that, I saw, I think it was on, had to be on X, an interview with Sawinski this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, he was coked up.
Coked up?
I thought it before I read it, and that was the first, or probably the third line, is it looked like he was on a substance known as cocaine. Watch the guy.
Maybe he's just lacking sleep and delirious. Delirium.
No, I think that man sees his future, and he ain't buying no bananas.
Now, the Romex Angler is back. Says Ray is right. If you only eat once a day, guess what? You're not going to starve. The hunger is in your head, so you have to figure out how to shut down the thoughts like a machine. Or just stay under stress and you won't think about eating. Well, there's some truth to that, though I've only eaten like once or twice a day for a while now.
Yeah, me too, but what do you eat?
Bad stuff.
I mean, that's me. I eat once a day, but I eat all the crap you should have in a week. I eat that once a day.
Well, and actually the new thing I'm trying to do like 4 or 5 times small thing.
I've tried that, and
it
good
didn't
luck
work for you.
Not for me, but good luck.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, what the problem was, you have to eat like every couple hours.
Right? Yeah,
that was my problem.
Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll
no. Good. Let me know, because I've had some people that had good success with it. Just not for me.
Well, apparently, it gets your metabolism
keeps it
going
running
more,
yeah,
as opposed to when you stop and start. Though I've seen. Did you ever see that interview on Rogan? It was a young guy who's a wrestler, and he says he doesn't eat. He rolls like jiu-jitsu wrestling all day.
Mm-hmm.
And then at night, he'll eat like a whole like casserole dish of pasta and homemade pizza. And he's as skinny as a rail, ripped and all that stuff. And Rogan's like, this doesn't make any sense.
No.
He's like, I guess I just burn so many calories in the day and my body's just used to this.
I guess, dude.
That I don't gain weight. I'm like, and now he is only, I think, like 20-something. So maybe it'll
come
change.
around in a little while, but still.
But no, I think the secret, actually, to whether it's diet or nutrition or health in general, is that actually people are unique.
Yeah, everybody's a little bit different
in their physiology and what affects them.
The biggest thing, you got to keep moving. You cannot become lethargic.
It's true.
I mean, I've been there.
It's easy. Once you stop, you're truly stop, you're dead.
Exactly.
Right.
I've been there. It's you got to keep moving somehow, some way.
Well, I think it was a good show today, Eddie.
I had a good time, man.
Appreciate all the love. Again, Joey Clark live on YouTube. Like and subscribe.
We should take Romex Angler out snipe hunting. A little special thing. Just us.
Put it on the page?
Yes. Snipe hunting.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Don't worry about it.
I'm hunting human beings?
No. Romex Angler does. We're going to have to do it.
Better not be a euphemism. Hey, Greg Budell and Happy Hour. They're next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. A coroner has determined the cause of death for a Georgia woman who was found dead